So what the fuck do you want to know?
Well, I guess let's start at the beginning.
Oh, Christ.
So you're
I
from
was born in 1986. I'm 32 years old. My name is Matt Roberge. I'm from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I grew up skateboarding and snowboarding.
You're 32?
Fucking 32.
Really?
How old do I look?
I thought you were younger than me.
Yeah. I look
What?
young. I never drank. I never smoked. I go to bed early.
It works.
Yeah, I sleep. I don't sleep a lot, but I sleep.
Damn. Keys to success.
So yeah, I wake up at 6:30, 7:30 every morning. Go to bed 10, maybe 11.
When I first met you, I think I met you, through John?
Yeah, John was filming his like break the shoes edit.
Exactly, yeah. We filmed, for Village Psychic, we filmed that John Shanahan wear test with the old ass DCs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where you were like, oh yeah, like I do vintage sponsor. And then everything clicked.
Mm-hmm. That was like right when, that was no, I did not say I did vintage sponsor. Because that vintage sponsor was, maybe it was going by then. It was going by then.
Yeah. You would hinted something at it towards like the end of the skate sesh.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been when did we film that? The spring? The fall?
Nah, that was like spring or summer of like 2014.
I was wearing a
or
jacket.
15. Yeah, true. I guess it was kind of chilly.
2014, I think, is like the spring is when it started to pick up. So maybe it was like May and it was cold out, and I'd been doing it for like a month, and it was starting to gain traction. I don't know.
Could be.
It's been flying by. I don't really remember time periods, time frames. That seemed like right when I moved to New York, but I guess it wasn't.
No, you weren't even in New York yet. I think you were.
No, I was. I lived here. He didn't live here. He would stay with me.
John was?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, no, so basically what I was going to say, I met you that time. We all lurked. And then like a couple months later, me and Brett showed up because the DC dudes were in town. They were staying at the hotel in LES. Mm-hmm. We were all chilling in the hotel room. And yeah, you were talking about growing up in the Poconos. And then you went back all the way to the fucking D3 burger stomping videos.
Oh shit, I pulled those up? Yo,
I used to drink, but my memory's good.
Yeah, I gotta like post one of those where I like smash some shit.
Yeah.
Or use like other shoes or something, some like foot fetish ASMR, like stepping on food shit. I think that'll get me some traction on Instagram.
Shit's popping right now.
I think it'll be funny.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people will remember, and then kids will be like, "What the fuck is this?
Exactly.
What is he doing? Stepping on food?"
It'll be like a blast from the past.
So I pulled those up. I looked for those the other day. I couldn't find them. The original one is gone. There's all these other ones where they're stepping on random shit. But the one where like, it's this one video where the guy's wearing like the puffy ass D3s. I forget what color they are, but he like circles. Mm-hmm. All you can see is the fucking from the ankle down, and he like walks by.
Yeah.
And then he walks by again.
He's teasing the burger.
And then he walks up to the burger and he like kind of just touches it with his toe and walks by. And then he comes back and steps on it a little bit and goes away, and then steps on it a little bit more. And he puts all his weight on it and smushes it, and then he starts just tapping on it like, and it's all stuck to his foot. It's like the stupidest thing ever, but.
Well, let's elaborate from your early days. So what type of town are you from? Like, is it small? Is it big? Because I mean, it's in the Poconos, right?
Yeah, the Poconos. So the Poconos are kind of big. It's like the main town in the Poconos, I would say. And I would say it's like the furthest suburb of New York City. I went to school with all New Yorkers. My dad is from New York. There's plenty of Hicks, and there's plenty of just like locals, but there's like so many like just city people that I went to school with. And if you go further than my town, then it starts to be like what you'd expect in Pennsylvania, like Trumpville.
Right.
But my town is like middle class, stuff to do, but not really. Compared to other towns, there's stuff to do. We have a skate park, and there's East Stroudsburg and there's Stroudsburg. Each town has a skate park. when I was younger, there was like a skate park, skate shop, snowboard shop that had like a bunch of ramps. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that kind of sounds like where I grew up.
Yeah, basically. Except you guys have more like more cities and more towns to go to, whereas like in the Poconos, it's just like 40 minutes this way there's a town, 40 minutes that way there's a town, in between there's nothing.
Really?
Where you is like, oh, there's this little town, there's this little town, and then there's like Springfield's a bigger city, and then Hartford's not too far away,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
and there's like colleges and shit. Like
Mhm.
there's like a college in my town, and that was it. Like, I don't know.
Interesting. Is that where you started skating?
Yeah.
What came skating first, or what came first? Excuse me, skating or snowboarding?
Skating.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
My whole life
naturally.
I've been like a skateboarder that snowboards, but like I'm way better at snowboarding because it's way fucking easier, and it's like
Fair.
fun as shit. Because I don't know, I lived like 10 minutes away, and skating, it's like easy to like. I was always into like mischief, so like when you go skating, it's like easy to not skate. It's easy to like go break some shit, like run around, like talk shit, watch a fight.
Of
With
course.
snowboarding, it's like you go to the hill, like you're snowboarding. There's nothing else to do really. Like every once in a while, you can start some mischief, throw some stuff off the lift, jump off the lift, but for the most part, you're just like snowboarding. So
Yeah, valid point.
it's easier to just like snowboard, like go snowboarding. Skating, I'd be out doing all types of shit, just in the street.
Well, so you said you never drank and smoked.
I've never been drunk. I've never smoked weed or a cigarette.
Well,
I guess I've taken a drag of a cigarette, but
that's interesting because I feel like growing up in a small town, whatever environment like that, you're more prone to be like exposed to that shit, and it would just come naturally to
oh
you.
yeah. Oh, I was exposed to it.
Yeah, fair.
That's kind of what made me shy away from it, I think. Never saw my dad drink. Never really saw my mom drink. They did not smoke or want me to smoke. And then when I started skating and hanging out in the street a lot, we were skate all the time. And then like weed kind of hit in like 10th grade. And I saw my friends like go from like, let's just skate to like, oh, let's skate and like smoke weed at night. And then it was like, fuck skating. Let's just smoke weed and get drunk. And then it's like, I'm just by myself skating with like random kids. Like they all left. And I was like, okay, so maybe I like shouldn't like drink or smoke until like I have money. Because that was like the whole thing. It's like either you spend your money on a deck or you spend all your money on like weed. Because like no one had money. No one was like rich. Like I know like a lot of kids grow up like, oh yeah, I could just buy whatever I want. My parents give me $50 a week. It's like I got $20 a week for lunch at school. Like that's all I had.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just for lunch. Like I didn't have like extra money to go buy food or drinks like after school, let alone weed.
Mm-hmm.
So like kids would, I don't know, I guess kids would just use their lunch money for weed or sell something or steal money from their parents. I don't know. But yeah, there would be like, it was like the classic like 10 kids on one joint. And I would just be like, I didn't pay for this. I'm not smoking. Also, I don't want to smoke in like an abandoned house. Like, this is weird. I don't know what the hell weed is going to be like in a fucking abandoned house. So I'm just like, I'm all good. I'll smoke weed when I'm in like someone else's house, like a crib, you know?
Where you're comfortable.
Yeah. And then it just went from that to like, fuck this shit. I'm not even doing this. All these kids are just fucking stuck in the town forever.
But did you ever work back in the day, or like do you have little
No.
hustles?
No.
No.
I didn't have a job until I was 19.
What'd you do?
I worked at a Shawnee repair shop. So like I went to high school, never had a job. I guess I had like little jobs where I'd mow the lawn. Basically it all revolved around getting a skateboard, like a deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, if I mow like the whole lawn, we had a huge lawn, like I can get a skateboard. So every time I need a skateboard, I would do that. Or like, oh, Grammy needs her lawn mowed. Go do that, and you'll get $20. I'm like, oh, okay. And like summertime, like when I got nothing else to do, I'll just go do that today and make some money. But I would just go skating all the time, and I just never needed money really. I don't know. I just like, I guess I would like strategically use I remember I was like really good at strategically using my birthday and Christmas gifts. I don't know if that's like something like a lot of kids do, but like I wouldn't ask for like shit I didn't need. I would ask for like shit that I needed. Like I would get my season pass for my birthday, which was in November, and then I'd get like one year I needed a snowboard, so I got a snowboard. And then one year like I don't even know. It'd just be like shit that I needed. So I'd plan on like, oh shit, okay, I want this really, really bad. I need this thing. I'll just wait until, or maybe I wouldn't wait. I'll be like, Mom, for Christmas and my birthday, can I get a camera? She's like, okay. And then I would get it in like October. And then Christmas would come around. I wouldn't get anything because I used up my Christmas gift on this camera or whatever. Yeah. I wasn't like, so in a way, I guess that's like kind of like hustling. You're like thinking about like the future, like, okay, how am I going to get this camera? How am I going to get this skateboard? But I never wanted to work. It's like, fuck that. I never wanted like to buy a car or some shit or like have more money to like just, it's, all I want to do is like sit at the skate park. I mean, you just drink water, and I used to steal a lot from Walmart when I was little. So I would just get a bunch of food doing that.
Yo, so did I. So did me and all my friends. We used to go up in there. Actually, our friend's older brother, he put us onto the scheme where if you basically go into Walmart, go into all the racks, and you know, back then it's like Dickies was becoming a cool thing. And we would go up in Walmart, get a bunch of Dickies, white tees, whatever, some hoodies. And then you can actually leave the tags on too. And mind you, the men's section in this Walmart that we went to in Hadley, Massachusetts was literally like a half retaining wall away from the customer service desk. And we just go around the wall and be like, hey, we just got all this clothes from our parents for like whatever our birthday. We just don't have the receipt. Can we return it? They'll be like, yeah, sure, sweetie. And then they hand you a gift card, prepaid gift card with all the shit that like basically it's just free money.
Crazy.
You can
That's
actually
some
spend
like
it.
that's some real thief shit. That's like some real next level thief shit. I was just going to like the deli, ordering food and then eating it and then not paying for it.
What the fuck?
or like stealing tech decks and shit.
Oh yeah, tech decks for sure.
Yeah.
Kmart and Walmart all the time.
I was never like bold enough to be like, I'm gonna return this shit that I didn't buy and get money for it.
Yeah, I think a tech deck was the first thing I ever stole in my life.
Yeah, same. And we would break open a pack of razor blades so that you could cut the front of the package so you could rip the tech deck straight out. Instead of like opening it up, we thought it would be better to just be like, shh, and then just fucking rip the tech deck out. So fucking fried. Like,
I used to just rip it open.
yeah, no, I know. Any normal person would just rip it open.
Now I think about it, I might have even just stolen it with the whole package.
I mean, when you're little, you think there's like a sensor in there or some shit.
Yeah.
So it would just be like, take the tech deck, leave all the other shit.
Exactly.
I remember I had the Alien Workshop Kalis glove park board. It's like my favorite tech deck.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
They
I
just
think I
like
had that.
re-released it, except it says like, I don't even know what it says. It's like DGK instead of AWS or something. I don't know.
Naturally.
But
cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's the whole show.
I'm trying to think of like more childhood shit. It's the smoking and drinking shit is where we got started in this combo.
I guess I'm just thinking because I talked to you not long ago and I was like, yeah, I recently I quit drinking and I've been in this mindset of just like go and hustle. And you're like, yeah, I guess I just always kind of did that. So I was curious, like, did you always thrift?
Yeah.
You did?
I never, my mom would not allow me to buy anything for retail.
Not even TJ Maxx?
No, nothing. And then we didn't even have TJ Maxx.
Really?
Like we had, like JCPenney was like where I'd get my clothes. I'd get 501s and then I would get t-shirts from CCS like sales page. So I'd always have like random t-shirts. But I did have some of the good ones. Like I had the Horties shirt. I had the Muska like going down the crazy steep fucking ledge shirt. I like BMX. I had like red line shirts and shit.
Naturally.
Yeah. I remember I had some like disgusting orange DVS shirt. Like I think I saw like a snowboarder wearing it, so I was like, "Fuck, I'll just get this." It's like $10 out of here. I think it was like 3 for $30 or something on that sales page, so I could pick 3. My mom would be like, "I'll buy you 3." But Grew up yard selling.
Mm.
All my clothes from when I was like a baby were like secondhand.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But do you have siblings or no?
yeah, my sister. I have a sister.
Oh,
She's
okay.
like a year younger than me. What else is there? I started thrifting myself for clothes probably in high school. Like I would basically go just for jackets. I remember I like watched Iron Curtain 3 and Shane Flood's wearing like a down jacket with a fur hood with no sleeves. Probably like a Mission 6 jacket where like the sleeves pulled off or something. But I just like went and got like a woman's jacket and just cut the sleeves off of it with a fur hood, and I like would wear that snowboarding and just try to look like him. I remember that was like a thing. I would just go for jackets. I would just go look at the jacket section and then leave. Like I wouldn't even look at any of the other clothes. I was still just wearing like, I was in like the whole like gotta wear skateboard shit. Gotta wear skate shirts, 501s, like 32, 36s. Like it's just like super.
Oh
easy.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. You're tall as fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always been like raised with like never buy shit for full retail. Even still.
Yeah, clearly.
It's really hard.
Vintage sponsor.
Shoes sometimes. Shoes, socks, and underwear.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be kind of
Some shoes.
be
Lots
dusty.
of my shoes are free or cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I assume at this point. All right, well, rewind. So, high school,
Yeah.
did that. You had a job at Shawnee.
Got out of high school, went the whole summer with no job. School came back into session and I wasn't in it anymore. I was like, well, I guess I'll just get a job where it's like the same as going to school, like 8 to 4 or whatever, 8 to 5, like normal school hours. Started working at Shawnee because that's where I would snowboard all the time. I worked one day as an 18-year-old man, and then the next day I turned 19. That was my second day of work.
Oh, shit.
So I like fucking started working super late. That job was sucked because you were like at the place where you get to like have fun, except you're not having fun. You're like dealing with people. And then that summer, I got a job at Shawnee Golf Course, doing golf course maintenance.
Okay.
And
Can you
then
point the mic a little towards you?
and then
A little more. Like, twist it to the right. There you go.
oh, okay, that makes a big difference.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. And then I got a job with my friend mowing lawns, doing like landscaping. That was the last job I've had.
Damn.
I guess I had jobs filming snowboarding, but those aren't real jobs.
Well, yeah, get into that. Because, like, also when we both realized that we, like, were always around Western, like, I grew up there, you were always around there.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew Scott Stevens.
Yeah.
And Ali, and I'm assuming, like, Austin Granger.
Austin, yeah.
Yeah. How did that connection happen? I assume, obviously, through snowboarding, but...
Yeah, snowboarding. So, high school, snowboarding a lot. Nobody's really skateboarding. At least no one's going anywhere with skateboarding. And I'm just like, I can see snowboarding. I can see people that are sponsored for snowboarding. My good friend Luke Henning, he was going to like a snowboard school in New Hampshire. And at that school was like a ton of pro snowboard people or people that would become pro snowboarders. And I would go hang out with him at like contests and they would be there. And at this point I had like saved up and I used my Christmas and birthday. And I think Luke actually gave me a broken snowboard to send back to get a new one so I could sell it. And I like scrounged up a bunch of money. I bought a DVX. This was like when DVXs were like hot. Like nobody had a DVX. No skater had a DVX. It was just like a snowboard camera. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just, no one wants, I was, all through high school, I was taking photos and like no one gave a shit. So then I was like, but I would film like Jackass. Like I had like a shitty camera and we would film like Mischief. So then it was just like, oh, it's easy enough to just start filming skating and snowboarding. So like everyone wants me to film. Like there's no filmers anymore. They all like went to college. So I'll just start filming. So I started filming snowboarding and I would film Luke, and then I would go to contests with Luke, and I met his friends, and his friends were like Tanner Pendleton was like the main guy that I met. He was really good at snowboarding. He like saw that I was good at filming and was just like, oh, you should come and hang out with us like next winter in Tahoe and like film and shit. And I was just like, all right, cool. So that's how I got in. Luke introduced me to Tanner, and then Tanner was like, oh, like, let's go. So then I moved into a house with a bunch of snowboarders from like Waterville Academy and went to Tahoe and met some more people. And then that year was kind of just like getting to know everyone and like filming and just trying to figure out everything. And then, yeah, I don't know. The year after that, we did Eastern Border Video, which is kind of like a cult classic on the East Coast. I filmed probably 80% of it. Tanner filmed a bunch of it. Tanner edited it.
It was a snowboard
video. Yeah. So this is like why I went into snowboarding, because like no one from my town was going pro skating, and like I was snowboarding a lot. I liked snowboarding a lot. So it was just like easy to be like, oh, I'm just going to do the snowboard shit. So I went into like the whole mode of like work all summer in Pennsylvania, move away all winter and snowboard and film. And that consisted of like Tahoe a lot, and then the East Coast, like driving up and down like into New Hampshire, Plymouth State. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Yeah, I started filming snowboarding, and then I worked my way up in snowboarding and started getting paid to do that. Got a job at High Cascade. Preston Strout, it was the god. When you work at High Cascade, it was like guaranteed you could just like get paid to film snowboarding like in the wintertime. High Cascade is like a summer snowboarding camp, Mount Hood. So once I got a job there, that was like game changing, because then you really meet everyone. That's where I met Scott and Austin worked there. I'm trying to think who else from Mass that you might know would work there. I don't know. Oh, Grenier. Yeah. Grenier's from like Worcester area. But he like went to like school in Mount Snow, so like that's how he met them.
I feel like he was always in Scotty's videos, like Concrete Jungle.
Yeah. I've never really seen like Concrete Jungle. What's the other one? Bangarang?
Yeah,
Is that
the
one?
Concrete Jungle 2, Bangarang. I think the last one was the Search for the Bad Burke.
That was like an internet release, I think, right?
Yeah, but that was like way newer.
Yeah,
because the videos I'm talking about was like mid 2000s.
Yeah, no, I've seen the footage, but I've never seen like the videos. I've just like heard the stories, like met the people.
Yeah, I used to look up to those because, you know, I was like 15. Any 15-year-old was like going through the hormonal changes and trying to figure out who the fuck you are. And then Theory Skate Shop opened up. Shut the fuck up, Brett.
So Theory Skate Shop wasn't around for a while?
Well, Theory's been around since like 98, I think. But Amherst, where I grew up,
didn't have anything.
No, we had a skate shop. It was called Levels.
Okay.
And then Unite opened up. Unite was like the first boutique, at least like the type of boutique I saw. Because the dude Guy Lou that started it, he was like probably 10 years older than us, and he was influenced, you know, by like the Grilled Chocolate era of like Goldfish Mouse, all that. Yeah. And when Huff opened up Huff in SF, like the very first original one, he was like, oh shit, I want to open up a boutique. So the first location was in Northampton. Then he moved like a year later to Amherst, and that's when we started going there because Levels was closing, and it was like Unite was the more like kind of like cool shit, and like he had like one of the first Nike SB accounts in America. So we started going there, and then like another 6 months later, Theory opened up in place of Levels because Levels had closed down and like sold off whatever to Theory. And so we kind of started to go over there and like pissed off Guy Lou because we weren't shopping for his shit anymore. But I remember Scott, that's where I met Scott.
Yeah.
A couple other, like obviously Frank and Dan who own it. But yeah, I remember Scott, like he was probably the nicest dude that worked there.
Oh, and then worked there.
Oh yeah, so for sure. And like he was already like when he showed us the videos and like told us who his sponsors were, like I didn't really know that much about snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
But like he was like, yeah, I ride for 32. But like I'm seeing Theory selling like 32 boots and like his snowboard. I'm like, oh fuck, like he's kind of hot shit in that game.
Yeah,
but he never acted like it. He was such a humble, and
he's
still is such a humble dude.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure, or maybe they didn't have the premieres there, but like Scott, whenever you make the new videos, like, come and bring it to the Amber shop and we watch that.
Mm-hmm.
That was always fun. But yeah, I guess continue with you were at Cascade.
High Cascade. Then I just started filming snowboarding for money. Did that for a couple of years. The more I did it, the more I didn't like it.
Yeah, tell me, were you ever influenced by those? What's the production company that made all those snowboard videos back in the day, like the really nice 35 milli and?
I don't know. I was influenced by Grenade videos, Iron Curtain videos, skate videos. Back in Black, which is like a whitey film. Oh, I liked Standard too. Standard is kind of like what you're describing, like very nice 16 millimeter, but they just use like the little like they weren't even SRs, they were like the S cameras, the one that kind of have like the hump, and they're battery powered. But
what's the name?
Neo Proto, I was influenced by them, but which they turned out to be a bunch of scumbags who just stole everything from skate videos.
Yeah.
Bad, real bad.
Brett, who's the company that made?
You're thinking of Mac Dog.
Mac Dog Productions.
No one wants to talk about them.
That shit was like a template.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, but like I would.
That's like my first. That's like Play School Presents, like my first snowboard video. Like
fair.
That's like what you would know. Like
Yeah,
it's like a biggest name, but like I fucking did not look like. Yo, Choke Smack came out. You remember Choke Smack, Brett?
No.
Holy shit, shit is fucked. Like I was just like, I was like, oh, like cool. Like you guys made like the Nixon Jib Fest movie. That's cool. Oh, you made like the forum videos. Those are good. And then like they came out with like Choke Smack, which is like just like a straight up Mac Dog video. People buy in with their sponsors and shit. The music was horrible. Like they went like way too high. It was like Super 16, I think, with like anamorphic lenses. It was just like, what the fuck is this? Come on, I'm trying to watch a skate video, not some fucking bullshit on cranes.
Right.
That shit, I was just not a fan after that of Mac Dog.
So you don't like Ty Evans videos?
I like Ty Evans. Actually, yo, I fuck with his shit because he's like,
Me too.
Because it's not like a crane or some stupid shit that's like actually limiting. It's like actually the point where it's just like I can just run full speed and you don't even know I'm running.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. Like, oh, you're going here? Well, I'm just gonna run through the grass.
Yeah.
Whereas normally you have to skate and you couldn't go through the grass.
Right.
And he's filming that dude with the crazy like cape on and shorts, and that shit's crazy too because he's going down like huge rails.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nigel.
Yeah.
Nigel, the LA dude.
Nah, we're talking about Nigel Houston.
Oh shit.
Nigel Hudson.
Who's the fucking dude who films all the skate park edits? It's like
Nigel Alexander.
Oh,
Nigel
God.
K. Alexander.
Shots fired at Nigel Alexander, dude. I'm calling you out.
Yo, I don't know.
Filming Mickey Papa board setups and shit, dude. Like, dude, go clean up a beach.
I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know these people's names. I'm out the loop.
Nigel Alexander is a filmer, and I think he used to film like P-Rod a lot. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like one of P-Rod's first filmers.
Interesting.
Like City Stars and like In Bloom days or back then.
Interesting.
But nowadays you ever seen like Braille skateboarding on YouTube?
No. Let's not talk about this. I hate talking about shitty stuff. No, don't cut it out. We're not talking about this.
We'll just skip past it.
I didn't even want to say Mac Dog, and you made me say it.
Sorry.
Yo, I just like talking about good shit. Standard. It's funny you say Ty Evans because literally the person that the thing that most inspired me in filming was Transworld Feedback and Modus. You film the shit with the digital camera, and then you film the nice shit with the 16, and you cut back and forth, and you have a montage, and you use Moby, and you film in slow-mo, and you fucking use the fisheye, and you get close. That's like what I wanted to do on the snow. And that's why I was like somewhat successful on the snow, because These fucking snowboard filmers don't skate, and they don't film skating. Even if they do skate, they don't film skating. Oh, snow's melted. Zip her up. Put her in the closet. Whereas this is me. It's just like, I'm going to go sit at the skate park every day and try to film some shit. Try to get these guys to leave and go to the streets. So I would just be filming all year. I'd be filming snowboarding, and then I'd go film John and kids in my town.
What? How old was John when you met him? Or how many years
12,
ago, I guess? Really?
11 maybe?
Was he always good?
Yeah. Yeah, he was always good.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. For like a little fetus, he was good. You could like send him down anything. He would front 180 it, melon grab it, inward heel flip. You haven't seen him? I haven't seen him heel flip in a while. I was watching an old video of him. I was like, this motherfucker used to only be able to heel flip.
But he heel flipped that gap, or not the gap, excuse me. The fucking Forbidden Banks.
Oh, he did heel flip that. You're right.
And that's pretty
I guess
pretty recent.
Yeah, I guess you're right. He probably has heel flipped some other shit. I just can't think of it.
Yeah.
Kick whooped off that rail.
Is he like the main dude that you would skate with that, like, I guess from your area, like did something with skating, got big?
Yeah. I mean, he's the only one. I guess Twiggy, Jake Baldini. He's out there.
I know that name.
Yeah,
Baldini's on like adult.
yeah, he's on adult. He's like one of the people on adult skateboards.
Okay.
Like B-Dugs and
Yo, shout out to adult.
who else is on adult? B-Dugs and who else?
Nash.
Oh, that's your man's, right?
I know him.
What's his name?
Frankie Nash.
Frankie Nash. He's a Boston guy,
Yeah.
or he lives in Boston.
Yeah.
He's sick.
You can find him in Boston.
Yeah, I think he used to live with my good friend Jordan Parks. You remember her?
Jordan Parks, yeah.
I think he lived with her,
I
right?
recently saw poor Jordan Parks was having a GoFundMe
For her teeth, yeah.
teeth.
All her teeth died.
It's not.
I don't know what happened actually.
I feel bad.
I think she probably hit her mouth snowboarding, got them put back in, and they were never the
They'll
same.
die.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
That's
it's
not
tough
it.
and tough over here.
Sponsored by Jewel.
But yeah, John was like young. The first thing he said to me was, "Oh, you used to date my cousin. My cousin's Melissa." And I had just broken up with her. She'd broken up with me. And I looked at him dead in his face and he goes, "Oh, that's my cousin." I go, "That fucking sucks." And I walked away from him. And he was just like, I don't think he was very phased. He was like such a little kid and just like La La Land when he was little. Never like got mad, never like was always hyped.
I feel like I don't know you enough, but I know you enough to know that you clearly haven't changed too much when it comes to directness.
No, I just basically say what I'm thinking.
Fucking 2 months ago, I went to your house when you first moved in. You talked so much shit in like an hour and a half. I was like,
What was I talking shit about?
you told me about this one dork. You were like, this fucking dickhead. I always fucking see him thrifting around Jersey with like fucking
yeah.
boat shoes on.
Oh yeah, this dude. Yeah, I see him. Yo, he's so ugly. It's like, yo, how are you gonna be buying these clothes and you just are wearing like some shit you got at Target or some shit or some like new ass shit.
Massimo.
It's like, what are you doing? Boat shoes, a well manicured beard, glasses, like. But he's yeah, I seen him the other day and he's. I wish he would just be like, "Fuck you, dude." Instead, he's just like, "What's up, dude? How are you?" It's like
Like fake nice.
we're in here competing for the same shit, except like I'm chilling and you're like running around, like acting like it's the end of the world. And you're buying like all types of stupid shit, like suits and ties. I don't sell that shit. I literally like found this like insanely, disgustingly dirty Champion sweatshirt that's at least from the 80s with the fucking hood cut off of it, and I was so hyped. This dude was just like looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing with that?" I was just like, "Hell yeah, I fucking found some sick shit."
Reverse weave.
Yeah, it was a reverse weave.
Beast.
I'm gonna have John sew a hood into it. I think
That's the shit.
get a donor hood.
One off John.
Yeah, one off John.
He does pretty good with that.
Yo, he just made some like YSL fucking the shorts made out of a towel, very well symmetrical.
Does he actually find like real designer pieces
Yeah,
and then chops them
he
up?
buys it off eBay.
Wow.
So it started off as like finding shit that's like dirty or just like finding whatever it's like, cheap and you just chop it up and put it back together. And now it's just become like, I am going to spend $150 on this scarf and make pants that I can sell for $400 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or make a couple pairs of pants with them or some shit. It's like a legit scarf or like legit fucking towel, YSL towel. He might have found that towel, but I feel like that's a crazy one.
Yeah,
He probably just bought it on eBay.
that'd be quite a
I
find.
don't know if I'm giving away his secrets. I guess it's not really that crazy of a secret.
I mean, everyone goes on eBay, but
Not
I was
every-
gonna.
Yeah.
Huh?
Not everyone's gonna go and buy a fucking towel for $150
Exactly.
to cut it up.
Yeah. But that's what I wanted to get into later on. But I guess if you want to talk about John a little bit more, and can we claim discovering John?
I didn't discover him really. I just like held his hand the whole time, didn't let go. But he would also he was just like persistent. Like he's a pro because if I wasn't there, he'd go film with somebody else. But then when I'd come back, I'd be like, oh, let's do this. And he'd be like, let's fucking do this. And like all I wanted to do was film tricks, like good shit. And all he wanted to do was get filmed. So like worked out perfect. I would drive. I had money. I was like making a bunch of money filming snowboarding. Lived in my parents' house. Didn't have any bills really. So I would work that lawn mowing shit and make like a ton of cash, and then just be like, fuck it, got new cameras, I'm gonna film skating with them. I'd film him, James Juckett, who's like your favorite skater's favorite skater. If you watch J3T, it's on YouTube. He has the last part, it's incredible. And then Jake Baldini, he's like takes skating like very serious. So he's like moved to New York, like looks for the spots, has been filming a video part for like 6 years, like has an insane video part. Like he probably has like a part that when it comes out, people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Where is all this shit? Like he's been like traveling all over the place, like into where like no one goes.
Like around New York?
No, like around Pennsylvania, like deep into Pennsylvania, places I've never been, places I'll never go. Like just like, yeah, I was on Google Earth, just found this fucking cellar door, so found this rail to bank. Like what?
Yeah, people do that.
Drive 2.5 hours to one spot.
Damn.
Get kicked out, wait an hour, go back. Because it's like, what? You're just out in the middle of fucking this old coal town. Just like, so he skates. I'm trying to think. Yeah, John. I mean, yeah, John like had the drive. He was like always like with the shits basically. And so was I. I was always down.
Well, like I said in the
Yeah.
beginning, I feel like you guys, well, just to focus on you, since obviously you're on the show right now, you have always seemed to be kind of like a hustler and what's it called? Not go-getter, wrong word. Mover and a shaker.
Yeah. I never really thought of it like that, but I guess I am. I like to wake up early and I like to get shit done. I like to do shit during the day. When it gets to be nighttime, sometimes people I feel like are like, yeah, it's nighttime. Now we don't have to do shit. It's fucking time to have fun. Whereas it's me, it's just like, I don't drink and I don't do drugs or anything. So like, I just want to go to sleep. But like, I want to go to sleep so I can wake up early the next day and like get out there again in the daytime. Cause like when you're a filmer, it's like twice as much work at night. The lights, either the lights on top of your camera, you can't see shit, or you're setting up the lights in the generator and that shit sucks, or it's cold out. It's like, fuck that. Let's just film during the day only. Like, let's get up early, go, and then like when it gets to be dark, we can go get dinner and go home. So yeah, it was just, I never wanted to be like stagnant. Also like maybe like my house, like where I grew up, my parents' house, it wasn't like conducive for like hanging out. Like I didn't have the house where it's just like, oh, everyone should come over and hang out so I don't have to leave. No, it's just like I won't wake up and like, okay, when am I leaving the house? Like I want to go out and do shit. Like whether it's like anything. Like I'm like even to this day, like I wake up there and I'm like, I need to go get a coffee. Like I need to get out. I need to go thrifting. I need to go do something. And like I go insane if I'm like not doing anything. My girlfriend is like, oh yeah, let's just like lay around all day. I'm just like,
you get anxious.
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? Like I need to like post shit. I need to like have pictures on my phone so I can post shit on Vintage Sponsor, or I need to like have clothes in my house where like in my like actual house where I live that I can like take photos of when I'm like chilling and not at work, just so I have something to do. Or like I'll like think like, oh, okay, it's Saturday, like I could go to some yard sales, or like maybe we can like make a day of it and like go up to Connecticut and go thrifting or something. But yeah, definitely I can't like sit around and do nothing. So I guess that's like where it all, it's like the key to life.
Moving.
Can't be lazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like motion is life.
Yeah.
If you're not moving, the blood's not flowing. And exactly. What came first? Vintage sponsor or the hamburger stomping videos?
The hamburger stomping videos.
Describe for the viewers what the hamburger stomping videos are.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's some foot fetish shit that has to do with skate shoes. Where they started was one winter I was filming for Solomon, and they sent me up to Alaska in December. Do you know what that means? It means that it gets light out at 10:30 a.m. and it gets dark at 4. So we stay at this dude's house. His name is Manchild. He's like a legendary filmer that only filmed for like 2 years, but he filmed these famous shots and like of famous people snowboarding in Alaska. We're staying at his house, and he like long since quit, has his own house, a garage and all this shit. And he has his old skate shit in the garage. And for whatever reason, Chris Grenier had been watching like the stomp videos, like thinking they're so funny. And in this dude's garage, there's D3s. So I was like, yo, and this was like years ago. This is like coming up on like 10 years ago. I'm like, yo, I want these fucking shoes. And they were like a size big or some shit. So they fit, or maybe they were my size. I don't know. But he's like, yeah, I got those as like a joke a couple years ago from a shop that just had them. So I was like, fuck, like these are sick. So Grenier's like, yo, let's film a stomp video and put it online. So Grenier had this little like, I think Grenier had changed that tape maybe by this time. It's probably early Change That Tape, where it was like a blog still. And what you'd have to do is film some shit on a video camera and then like edit it and then like upload it to Vimeo and then post it to your blog. So he had me do it, and I was a fucking natural, and I stomped the shit out of like a piece of fried fish from a Thai restaurant. And I think I had like a bunch of polo gear on, like some mellow, like it wasn't anything crazy, but this is like when I was like in my polo state, the beginning of my polo phase, where I just wore only polo, which I never really got out of. But
clearly,
yeah. So fucking, we stomped the shit out of this fish, and it was like a viral video already. But then when we did it, people like didn't really realize that we were just like copying someone else, some foot fetish fucking weirdo on YouTube. And then it became like this whole thing where like I was stomping shit. I stomped a few things in like the snowboard world for like little edits or something. I still have the D3s. Yo, I'll probably bust them out like the next time I go back to my parents' house and stomp some shit. And maybe I'll send it to you or something. You can put it in this shit.
Yes.
Yo, I actually have D3 snowboard boots too. That I have stomped shit out in them, but it like flew over everyone's heads. Like I didn't have like the proper backdrop. It was just like on my parents' porch, and like they barely fit. So like they're probably like size 11 or some shit, or 10, and I have size 12. So they're like, my feet are just like smashed in there, and I'm like walking around all weird. And I don't know what I stomped, but it wasn't
Mickey D's
crazy. I need to get like something crazy, like something that's like expensive. One time I stomped this sushi, and it looked really good when you stomp it. It like goes all over and like gets on the shoe and shit.
That's the funniest shit, is like watching a car getting crushed, but then it's like all the guts of like the tomato and like the whatever they use for the meat.
It shoots out.
Where was that? Like on E-Bombs World? Because I think it was before
on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It was on YouTube, yeah. It used to be like the first thing that if you typed in like D3, like that's the first thing that would pop up. It was this dude in his kitchen with like brand fucking new D3s on, stomping out a cheeseburger. Or he did a banana too. The banana was really gross because like it like shoots out the side.
Oh.
Yo, I did one like 3 years ago in the K-less lights. It's on John's Instagram, I think. I think John put it on his Instagram. But I like saw this old ass banana by like, you know, in the Hasidic neighborhood, there's like the bank to ledge. It kind of goes like both ways, and there's like a door. It's like a chain link fence door. People used to gap to ledge, but you could also do it this way if you could, but you can't.
Yeah.
There was we went to there, and we're like, oh, this thing's unskatable. This thing is so rough. And there was a banana, and I was like, yo, I got the brand new Kalis lights on. Yo, film me. And John's like, yes, do it. So I was fucking this banana up, like taking my time with it, rolling it around with my foot. I just like dropped my foot on it and just like shot out. So gross. But yeah, that like people just, I don't know, maybe we have a fucked up sense of humor. But like it didn't get any love, I don't think. People were just like, what the fuck? And that was it.
Dude, I'm saying, I feel like if you did it again,
I should just do it every week, honestly. I need to get this algorithm. I need to beat this algorithm somehow.
I'm working on it over here.
Yo, we need to hack the algorithm. I think stomps might be the way to hack in.
yo, especially like you said in the beginning, how ASMR is like a thing these days. You know what I mean?
But I don't know if there's any therapeuticness to me watching me fucking step on food.
It's out there.
I bet, yo, if a dog can like eat
God.
fucking Cheetos,
That's ASMR?
yeah.
What does that stand for?
I got you.
Yeah.
And Baba Booey.
Here it is, Baba.
There's no autonomous sensory meridian response.
I hate that.
It's calming.
I don't understand what that means, but I don't like it.
I found ASR that's like hot girls talking, like
Yeah,
like they sound
whispering.
Like they have like a mouth, like there's certain different ways. Like there's like wet mouth.
Oh God.
Like
Oh God.
It gets nasty.
Yeah, I seen this girl on Instagram like, go to my YouTube and look at my ASMR videos. I'm like, what the fuck is ASMR? And I go to the YouTube and it's like, it's her talking like this. It's just like talking like this. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is dumb. What is this even about? It helps people go to sleep or some shit? I don't know.
Dude, people will literally watch it. It's like ear porn.
Oh man,
It's bizarre. The world we live in.
I don't get it.
It's very polarized. You got war and you also got ASMR.
that's crazy.
Oh man,
NSA, ASMR.
fucking cripes.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Well, yo, so I guess we'll skip ahead because everyone kind of knows about John. John's a big time pro now.
John Shanahan.
John Shanahan.
He's in my phone as Little John because he was always little. He's the
Really?
littlest John. There's three Johns. There's Farmer John. He was pretty big. He's actually really good at skating. He lives in North Carolina. He might be a juggalo. He definitely has neck tats. Then we have Little John, who everyone knows is John Shanahan. After that, there was someone named Littler John who had a slight lisp and didn't really skate, but he was a little baby fetus who skated for like a couple years and then he started playing soccer. He's a fucking douchebag. But yeah, let's talk about something else. What are we skipping to?
Well, I guess I was gonna skip to when I found out about you and John. So we were saying before we were filming the thing for Village Psychic, and then obviously like I'd already learned about Vintage Sponsor, and I don't think you really even had like press per se about it yet.
No.
Like maybe something with Jankum. Actually, no, I think it was before Jankum.
I think it was too. Yeah.
How did that start for you?
Snowboarding ended, and it was a more of like a we don't want to work with you anymore because you're you. And I was like, oh yeah, definitely, that makes a lot of sense. I'll see my way out of here. So
Wait, what does that mean?
It means like I wasn't. So there's plenty of snowboard filmers. They do a mediocre job, but they're like easy to work with. They're like say yes to anything and just you can lug them around.
Yes, man.
And I wasn't like that. I was like, nah, like I have a brain. Like I'm thinking about this shit. So like they basically like 1 year, like I just was like, oh, you know what happened? I quit High Cascade. Year before I made a snowboard video. Maybe it'll turn into like getting paid more money next winter. Summer comes, I go to High Cascade. High Cascade sucks now so bad that it's like, fuck snowboarding. I'm just quitting this shit. Quit High Cascade, left, went back to fucking Pennsylvania, started filming John like all the time. He was like about to get on DGK. He was like really good. And then I was like, well, I'm moving to New York now. Like it was like quit snowboarding in June. And by September I was living in New York. And I had already kind of like started to like look for clothes that I would never wear to sell on eBay. And then once I quit snowboarding, I was like full blown doing that, saving money. I had like a little bit of money saved up. So I was like, oh, I could live in New York for like a little while, you know, without having a job. But then it turned into like, fuck getting a job. I'm just selling a bunch of clothes on eBay. And it was like, that was rough. Like barely making rent, like paying like with eBay. eBay sucks to sell shit on, like sucks.
Well, why do you think that is? Are you talking about because like the 10% fee?
No,
the clientele.
It just sucked because like you can't find like $100 t-shirt every day, you know, like what you find out in the thrift stores does not equal up to like enough money. I don't know. It's just like there's so much competition on eBay that like unless you find something that's like really rare and like a lot of people are looking for it, it's like gonna be tough to make money on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like struggling selling shit on eBay when I moved here, and then moved in September. By March, my eBay had gotten fucked up. I was like selling clothes and saying like there's no returns, and people were like making up stories like, oh, this has like holes in it, or like when it would have like a pinhole in it, I would like list it as good condition, and like it's just like what does that mean? Like to some people that means like brand new. To other people it means like wearable, not stained up. That's what it means to me. It means like this is like fine, completely wearable. But when people get it and they're like, oh, it's cracked, the graphics cracked. It's like, well, buddy, it says no. It's like you can tell in the fucking photos it's cracked. You can tell it's worn. It's been washed. What do you expect?
It's an old shirt.
It's a $20 shirt. It's a $20 Supreme shirt that I got from fucking Lurker Lou's Rollgate. What are you talking about? Now you want your money back? And then they would like open up a case, and then they would have to send it back for them to get a refund. But I was never getting the returns. So like they would like, I would end up getting these like strikes against my account, and I didn't know that because they don't like send you an email. Yo, you just got a strike. You're fucked. I got like 3 of them and didn't even know. One day it was just like, yo, your shit's about to get like turned down. Like you're not gonna be able to list as much shit. You're only gonna be able to make $1,100, which was like enough. Like if I could make $1,100 every month, I would be like fine. But like just the more you can list, the more money you can make. So if you can only list like this many items and make this much money, then it's like, what the fuck? So I was like, I went into like panic mode. I had started the Instagram vintage sponsor, but it was mostly just like stunt shit, just like pictures of like vintage skateboard shit that I wasn't selling, that I just had collecting, shit that I'd given to John, or like shit that I thought was expensive that was cool. It's just like a stunt. This is like how everyone used to start their Instagrams. Like I'm selling it over here, but like this Instagram is just like a way for me to show off until I get followers. So I still had no followers. I wasn't even taking it seriously. And I remember I had jury duty in Pennsylvania, and I was like sitting there like freaking out, like what the fuck am I going to do? And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to have to do Instagram. I'm just going to have to sell shit through Instagram. And then my first thought was, I have all these boxes that I'm going to, like I had a Scott Stevens box, like all these band shirts, Seinfeld shirts and shit that he likes. I knew him like really well. So I was like, I'm going to send this to him and I'm going to have him shout me out. He did that, shouted me out. 2,000 followers within a week.
Damn.
Once I had 1,000 followers, life was good. I went from like, oh my God, how am I going to pay rent, to like, haha, I made $600 this week. That's rent. Now I have 3 more weeks to just make more money. And then it just spiraled out of control from there, to where it's just like, so mind you, it was Venmo or PayPal. I have to give you my info. You have to give me your info back. I have to screenshot what it is you wanted, and I have to screenshot your address. And then I have to go into PayPal and print out labels. This shit was fucking crazy, but way better than eBay. A lot of work, but so I had no life. Once I was done skating, sit in my bed the whole time, just take photos of shit, put them online, sell them, talk to people, just DM with people all night. Just like, yo, you want this? Oh, send me the money. All right, I got it. All right, boom, this is yours. Boom, market sold. And so I was like, oh my God, this is working. Like I'm making a bunch of money. So then like after like a couple months of that, I got a website, and then it kind of got easier. And then I got another website and it got really easy. Shopify is like really sick. And then I don't know, just like I took like Scott shouted me out, and then like some of my like Mike Rav, a good friend, he like shouted me out. A couple other snowboarders, maybe Desiree, bunch of snowboarders shouted me out at first. And then at that same time that I was making the money, I was spending all my free time filming John in the City. So I was just running around with him. He's getting insanely good. He's like starting to like blossom into like wearing all these different clothes. I was like kind of like, yo, I have these like Jabot jeans. Like I had found 2 pairs of these. I was going to wear them. They fit me, but like they're too crazy for me. Like I'm never going to wear these. He's like, yo, let me wear them. Yo, wear them. I'm going to make an edit. We went to this LES. He had the fucking Jabot jeans on. I filmed him do like a couple tricks. And then it was like, it seemed like right after that, it was just like, boom, Jabots are popping. Everybody wants them. Everybody's like buying them. They're like out of the thrift stores now. Like can't find them. But I think they were kind of like rare to begin with. I just happened to find like 2 really sick pairs, like in the same thrift store.
I know you never went to TJ Maxx.
I did actually.
Oh, you did?
I did when I was in like out of high school.
Okay.
Like when I started getting into polo, like in like when I was like 22, 23, I would go there and look. I got some jackets from there. Some really sick like polo jackets when polo was still good.
Mm. Well, I was going to say TJ Maxx and Marshalls definitely had the Jabot.
Yeah, I was too young. I like saw Jabot jeans when I was little, but like I was just like, I don't get it. Like I just skate. Like I don't know anything about clothes.
Right. Well, how did you even get into like
clothes
and style and all that?
Dave Waltzer.
Who is that?
So Dave Waltzer, he went to school with Luke. He went to Waterville Academy too.
Luke Matheson.
No, not Luke Matheson. Luke Henning.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
I don't know. I know Luke Matheson well, but no.
No, okay. Luke Henning, he was from Pennsylvania. He went to the academy. Dave Waltzer also went to the academy, but I didn't meet him until I moved to Tahoe. And me and him hit it off because we were like these 2 East Coast tri-state area people that were just like surrounded by these like snowboard bum people. Not bum in like a way where it's like like all they know is snowboarding. They're from like secluded towns. They're not from like a city area. Whereas me and him were like, he's from Long Island. I'm from like an hour and a half away from the city. We both grew up like listening to the same music, like liking the same shit, except like he had money and I didn't. So he knew about like all the clothes. He knew about all the sneakers. And I like, he like took a liking to me because we were both kind of like shit talkers and we were like both from the same shit. And he just was like mad funny. He had like this big Tahoe. We were in Tahoe. He had a Tahoe. It's like a brand new one. And we would drive around, like we'd go to Reno and shit. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to fucking hang out in this shithole town, Incline Village. He's like, let's go to In-N-Out in Reno. Like all the time. Once a week, we'd just go to Reno. Like this was like, no one would go to Reno. We'd go to Reno like once, twice a week, get In-N-Out, go to the mall, fuck around. He would just be like breaking people's necks, like, oh, you dropped it. The person would look and we'd just drive away. Like just like little kid shit, stupid shit. But he just like was the first person I saw wearing like skinny jeans, and like he had like a bunch of just crazy clothes. And then I was like, oh, I want to like start dressing like buying clothes, but like I couldn't buy them retail. So like I started like looking in thrift stores, and I got into polo. And polo's easy because you can go to the outlet, you can go to TJ Maxx, you can go to the thrift store. That shit is everywhere. It's been around for years. There's all different tiers of it. You can find it. You can find like gems. Like the shit I'm wearing right now, like is like gems, but it's not like the crazy like loud stuff that the collector people look for. It's just like high quality, nicely made, like normal shit. So Dave Walter, he got me into the clothes. And then I don't know.
What do you think of snowboard style?
I don't know what that means.
All right. Well, in like the mid 2000s up until recently, I feel like it was very much like sag pants and like quadruple XL tops.
So that was like 2005, 2006, 7, maybe 8, maybe even to 9. 2010 it kind of went away. The skiers still dress like that. Skiers are really bad. Skiers are really bad.
Ooh.
I think they might be coming around now, but yeah, they were like dressing like idiots for a while. I don't know, just being if you are a pro snowboarder or like in the snowboard world, there's like when I was young, the internet wasn't as prevalent. Now these kids can be like on their phone and like see everything. So it's like easier to not look like a dumbass. But back then it was like there was no Instagram. There was like Facebook, there was MySpace, and there was like blogs.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no way to like know anything about anything unless you were like living it. So I just knew skating. So I always dressed like a skateboarder. But these snowboard people that don't have anything, they would just be like, oh yeah, like whatever, like fucking Rasta colors, and like they would like mimic like what they saw on TV. So they would be like try to dress like rappers, I guess. So everyone was wearing like giant clothes. They would like wear giant clothes. That was like a thing. And then there was like this like the opposite of that where people were just like, nah, fuck that. We're wearing like tight pants, snowboarding, and like that was cool because you kind of look like street style. You kind of look like a skateboarder. But they would like have these like bell bottom shits that were like fucked.
Yeah.
But it made sense. Oh, don't say his name. Come on. Why are you bringing up old shit? No, but like the bell bottoms made sense for snowboarding because like a tight pant can't go over your boot, so you need it to flare out at the bottom. But you just look like an idiot with bell bottoms on.
Right.
Basically. Snowboard style. I don't even know. Now it's like, I don't think of it. I don't think it's really a thing anymore. I think everyone kind of looks cool. Some people are like behind, or some people have like bad taste. But like snowboarding as a whole, like a lot of people are like, I wear this shit because it's practical and it's waterproof and it's like high tech and it's nice. And then there's other people that are like, I wear this because I look cool and I don't have to, it's not raining. Like I'm not snowboarding in the snow. I'm like in the park when it's sunny. I'll wear a hoodie and like baggy pants. That's like a thing. Like this year I've noticed like more snowboarders wearing like baggy pants, like looking like skateboarders, you know, like how skateboarders are starting to wear like really baggy pants.
Did you see Holden?
Yeah, Holden's back.
Is back.
Yeah.
Holden, for the record, is like the first
Bell bottom company, what I was
like
talking
the
about.
first like snowboard company that made that fit.
Yeah. Like a fitting,
From the
like
factory.
fitting clothes. Yeah. They used to call it taken in at the knee. So basically it wasn't like they got pants that were skinny. It was like they just got pants and just went like this. So like they were like mad loose at the bottom, but like real tight at the knee. And it ranged from like literally skin tight, your kneecap is poking out, to like just like subtly taken in at the knee. But
I mean, I guess across the board, people are more in tune with style, and it's kind of like what you said with the
Instagram,
advent of social media, and you can see what's cool, what's not.
Yeah.
You know right away what to do and what not to do. Like even young kids these days, like I saw this kid this morning walking to high school, and I'm like, how the fuck do you have Jordans on? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
It's obvious now.
Well, it's obvious, but it's still expensive.
But in the city, that's just like a thing in the city where like people spend a lot of money on clothes because like they don't have cars and shit.
I guess that's true, yeah.
It's just like you show off. You don't show off by like having a car. You show off by like having like clothes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's like all you do is take the train. And, like,
It's like someone said one time, I forget where it was, but they were like,
and it means a lot to like have your kids like be fresh. So like you'll spend like the money on the shoes and shit for what they want.
yeah, valid point.
That's like it's like a thing. It's just like a consumer thing in the city. I've noticed.
No,
And
that's
like
valid.
also like shoes last forever here because you're not like last forever as in like you Pennsylvania, like you get Jordans, I walk outside of my house, they're ruined instantly. There's like mud and shit.
Mhm.
There's like dirt and water. Here it's like it's water and puddles, but like you're always on concrete. Your
Mhm.
shoes like stay cleaner for longer.
You had mentioned in the Jankum thing, you were talking about how like Virgil started to reach out to you.
Oh yeah, it kind of got crazy with people following me.
Well, who was the first person that like the first big name that reached out to you?
See, not a lot of people reached out to me. It was more like they just started watching because like most people just buy shit that they know they can sell or they've seen other people sell. Whereas I like just will buy shit that I think is cool. So, and I'll put it all on my shit. Like there's no like, people always say like, oh, your shit's so well curated. It's like, no, you just like the fact that it's like all cool shit from all over the place. It's not curated really at all. It's just like whatever I like, which I guess in a way is like curation. But I feel like a lot of people started watching because like it's just like going to the thrift store, except you don't have to go. It's just like all the good shit from the thrift store without the hassle of actually going to the thrift store and looking. And like people love to look and just like screenshot shit and then just like use it for inspo, use it for a mood board. So I don't know what Virgil was doing, but he followed me. Like that was cool. A lot of people like commented on that, like, oh shit, Virgil follows you. But he didn't probably buy anything or like talk to me for like months. And he bought like a random thing and like had it sent somewhere in New York, like somewhere in Queens. And I was just like, oh, I wonder if this is like a gift for somebody. It's random. It was like some random thing. And then yeah, I didn't have any contact with him for like maybe years, honestly. It was like not too long ago that he like hit me up. It was like, oh, I don't know if he hit me up and bought some shit or if he bought some shit and then hit me up, but I don't know, he bought a bunch of shit, had it shipped to like some office in Midtown.
I feel like
Oh man, that's
from my perspective, we'll get there. Hold on. I feel like from my perspective, you were, at least like in my world, in my field of view, you were the first person to be doing this. Because you look now on Instagram, Depop. Well, first off, Depop is a thing. Grailed is a thing. I feel like you were doing this like right before those platforms popped off. And I feel like you were also the first one to really be taking advantage of Instagram as a platform to be able to sell shit. And then obviously with the advent of things like Venmo, I mean, PayPal had been around, but Venmo is even easier because I feel like it's free, right?
Yeah,
no fees. Do you feel that you were maybe one of the like on the forefront of, I guess, thrifting via social media?
I think a lot of people think that I am. I know was following a bunch of people on Instagram that were like selling shit on Instagram. One of them is I think his name is Chris Morrison, Buffalo Sportsman. He's younger than me. He was a camper at High Cascade, and I don't know if he like saw me at High Cascade selling used clothes or like saw how I dressed, or if he was just into it before or at the same time. But he was like selling shit on Instagram before me. Every time I think of like, oh yeah, you're the one, you did this before, I always think like, fuck, this kid from High Cascade was doing it before me. Like, but
Wait, you were flipping clothes at High Cascade?
I was, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of a funny thing. So I would like bring my clothes there, like, oh, so all the snowboard people bring their snowboard shit there, and they try to sell like their old snowboard stuff, and like I didn't have old snowboard stuff because I wasn't a pro snowboarder. But I had like old clothes, and like it started to kind of like catch on with some of the kids that like vintage clothes were cool, like some of the louder shit. And I would go thrifting on the off days, and I would just look for shit that I thought kids would buy. Like Hawaiian shirts one year were like really popular, so I would just buy all the Hawaiian shirts, bring them up there, and just sell them for like, I don't know, $10 or some shit. And I would put out like all these like really cool clothes and try to sell them, and most of the kids, they were just like, oh, no, we're here for like stickers and like snowboards, not fucking polo shirts. What the fuck is this?
Wait, would you guys set up like a little shop area or shopping?
So there was like staff sale night, and like the whole skate park would be like people with their shit. So one night a session we would do it. It wasn't like every day. It was just like one night a session.
How'd you do that?
Not good. Selling shit? No. It was more like it looked cool. And people would be like, damn, yo, what? You're selling vintage clothes? This is weird. This is crazy. But like it wasn't like lucrative. It was just like, that's just what I had to sell. and I would like set it up, and I would be like, fuck, the cool kids are gonna come eventually, and they're gonna buy this shit, and then the cool kids would never show up. Or the cool kids would show up and they try to like nickel and dime me for some shit. I'm like, yo, you're from Canada, you don't got this shit up there. What the fuck?
But that's the same
Hey,
thing these days.
What's up?
That's like the same thing these days still.
Yeah, I mean it's always the same. But the fuck were you talking about? Oh, so he was like,
This is
me
Buffalo.
Me being the first.
Yeah.
I had never seen an Instagram try to market their shit around skateboarding and snowboarding, a vintage clothing person. Definitely never seen anyone give away clothes for a shout out. But that's just like fucking basic economics. You just give shit away to people and tell them to tell their friends that the shit is cool, and then the people that think they're cool come and buy shit off you. This is like how it works.
No, I feel that, but I guess
as a whole, thrifting on Instagram, yeah, I mean maybe I think a lot of skateboard people and snowboard people think I was like the first person, but I don't think that I was the first person.
But maybe to add to what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you might have been the first one in the realm of skateboarding, at least.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then
that
obviously
was like really pushing it. Like, I'm skating. Here's footage of people skating. I'm selling skateboard shit. I'm a skateboarder.
right.
Like, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, like mad thrifter people that sell the shit like skateboard also, but they just don't really
Exactly.
like, put it together.
Exactly. They were probably going for like the more like the hill figures and the polo,
Yeah, uh-huh.
like the easy shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Well, what do you think of, I guess, the emergence of like all these other people that do it now? Like, does it fuck up your business?
I mean, yeah. Takes money away from me, but unless I go, like, I don't really care. Some people they like follow me and I'll be like, oh, who's this guy? And I'll look and I'll be like, oh, good eye. And I'll follow him. Most of the time it's like, oh, this person doesn't know shit about clothes, doesn't know shit about culture or history, and is just selling shit that he's seen other people sell or thinks he's seen other people sell. And he has a horrible eye and none of this shit's worth anything. And
That's me sometimes.
yeah. And it's just like, I mean, lots of times like they're following me and I'm like one of the first people they follow. So like their Instagram looks like shit. They don't know what they're doing yet. They haven't figured it out. The shit they're trying to sell is garbage. Or it bothers me when they're like trying to sell garbage for like the same price that I'm selling this garbage for. It's like, you have like 20 followers. What are you doing? Like, start out slow, sell this shit for $15, you know? That's what I did. And then like work your way up. Once you get more people and you figure out, oh, this is cool, I could sell this for more. Or like, fuck it, I like this, I don't want to sell it, it's more money. Like, that's how I do it a lot of times. I don't need to get rid of this.
The game is saturated by people with no actual steez.
Yeah.
Trying to curate based on items they think are hot.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is like a wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
This might be hot. And then
Yeah, but
it's just this
vintage wrestling shirt. It says WWE on it. It's like, so do you guys know about the WWF, WCW? Yeah, those are the real wrestling things that people actually give a shit about. The WWE is some new shit that
Right.
they changed it to.
Yeah.
That shit's worthless. But yeah, it's like, what if I ever see someone's bio that says like, we sell vintage skateboard, snowboard, and luxury items, I block them right away. Because that's like what my bio used to say. And I was like, I just can't stand people that like bite super hard.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. Like, if I see someone doing this shit, like, it's ruined to me. Like, I had like a kind of like a crisis, like maybe like last year, where it's just like, fuck, so many people I don't like are doing this now. Like, I feel I like don't want to do this anymore, kind of.
Well, I remember I went to your house and I
Yeah.
went shopping a little bit, and
Yeah.
you were like kind of freaking out. You had like a bunch of clothes laid out. You were trying to move.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely, I don't think it's necessarily like everyone, I mean, the saturation of it definitely like affects me money wise, but you just gotta get smarter and you gotta just look harder. Wise words of Yusef Morish. He used to be known as Skate and Thrift. He was like, he came out like right at the same time I came out, and his shit was like, I'm a skateboarder that thrifts, and like I sell whatever is cool, but like I am a skateboarder that thrifts, and like he likes skateboard clothes. and he's been doing the shit as long as me. He's like super famous on like Instagram. Makes a lot of money. Like is very successful. He always finds shit. He fucking like it's like how do you find this crazy shit? And a lot of people are like, oh, yo, he plants that shit. He buys it off eBay. It's like, no, this dude literally just looks harder than everyone else and like looks all over for it. And he finds the shit.
Well, in your own, I guess, in your own path in this career or whatever, how have you adapted?
Because
I mean,
I just been buying more stuff, looking around, more places, paying a little bit more for stuff.
I'd love to stay, but I have to go. I'll see you guys later.
Peace, God.
later, Baba.
Maybe. Baba Booey has exited the building. Peace, guys.
Later.
I wonder if anyone's gonna be able to hear him talking.
A little bit.
Yeah, barely. Brett is out the building.
Yeah, that was Baba Booey.
Now we're in here by ourselves.
Get spooky.
But
yeah, how have you adapted? Because I see you went obviously from doing it just strictly through Instagram, then you got the Shopify, so you got like a full-on web store with e-commerce.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're not going to give up addresses, but your old apartment is now more or less your office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like your HQ
Yeah.
with all your clothes, and I'm sure that's where you shoot all the clothes.
Yeah.
But you also do stuff like Canal Street Market, which I guess if people don't know, it's like a big marketplace for creators.
It's like an indoor flea market type of scenario. People have booths.
Yeah.
That wasn't really successful. That's just a lot of tourists in there. Didn't know what they were looking at. Yeah, I'll do pop-up shops. I haven't really got into like pop-up shops too much. That one was kind of just like fell in my lap. It was super easy for me to do. So I was like, fuck it, I'll try to do this. I thought I was going to like be like, oh, I'm in New York, like foot traffic, blah, 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 blah. I'll be able to sell like all this shit. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Like no one bought shit from there. Like tourists don't give a shit about used clothes or like, you know, they don't know anything about it.
They want to go to Foot Locker and get feelers.
Yeah, they're here for like junk. They're not here for like used clothes. And then like Canal Street sucks to get to. Like if it was in Brooklyn, it might be better because there'd be like people that are like actually about the shit. And then people think they're going to go down there and see like everything I've posted. When it's like, no, it's just like a bunch. It's like a select few things that I've like put down there. But yeah, I haven't really gotten into pop-up shops. I don't know. I've just been like driving further and going to more thrift stores and looking for more stuff.
What's the furthest you've driven?
I drive 2 hours from my parents' house into Pennsylvania.
Damn.
So that's like 4 hours almost from here. Yeah, it'd be 4 hours from here. If you left right now, you'd get to where I like to go in 4 hours.
Do you find that you can find more goodies like the deeper you go out? Because
it becomes more relaxing because there's less chance of running into someone out there, and the chances of the age goes up out there because it's just like old towns that like no one moves to, no one moves away from. So like there's always like random shit. There's never going to be designer shit. There's never going to be polo shit, but you'll find like NASCAR shirts, Marlboro gear, Woolrich from Pennsylvania, Woolrich. You could find old jeans, you know, you can find old jackets, hunting shit, like quality made in the USA shit. Which is another thing I've been focusing on a lot is like made in the USA, high quality shit that's built to last. Yeah, I just love it. I don't know, something about it. It's like you can buy something and you're just like, oh, well, I'll be able to wear this forever because it's just like way better, built way better. Yeah, there's new trends and stuff. You kind of get ahead of people. You kind of can make trends, you know, like if you post shit enough. A thing that I was like buying a lot of and keeping, or not necessarily keeping, but like marking really, really high was, well, I still am, these environmental shirts from the 90s. So in the 90s, like the ozone layer and like environment recycling was like really trendy, and there's tons of shirts from it. And then like in the mid 2000s, like 9/11 happened, and like no one gave a shit about the environment anymore. And we all just started thinking about like gas prices in Iraq and these terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like made that like connection the other day. Like, where did all the environmental shit go from the 90s? Oh yeah, like 9/11 happened and like the whole shit just changed. But now the environmental shit is back. It's like, thank fucking God it's back, because we need this shit more than ever. I'm like a big part of it, because like reusing clothes, you're not buying garbage that you're just gonna throw away. Stuff that's existed already, it's used. Lots of times it's like higher quality. So, I mean, it's just better for the environment than just buying fucking shit from Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, of course. Because I mean, isn't clothing like the number 2 biggest polluter in the world, or is it number 1?
I don't know. I don't know the facts, but I know it's horrible. I know that H&M, the amount of clothing that H&M makes in an hour would take them 12 years to recycle or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, like H&M's really bad because their shit's really like cheap.
Yeah,
shitty.
Exactly. And you know, no one's buying that shit when it shows up at Salvation Army like a year later.
It's garbage.
So, Zara, that's the other one.
Zara is another big offender.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit is trash, and then you just end up looking like everyone else anyway. So it's like, fuck.
Exactly.
But yeah, I've like been selling. I've been like collecting / selling these environmental shirts for a while, and I was like trying to keep it like, I was like put them out there for sale, but I was trying to like almost keep them like hush hush too, so people wouldn't be like buying and selling them. But now I see like tons of like Instagram people like, yeah, fucking environmental shirt Instagram and like all this shit. Like,
really?
I had like a plan to like, maybe not a plan, but like a thought of like, oh, I'm gonna make shirts and I want to put like some sort of like Earth logo on them, some sort of like recycle logo. And like I seen like a thrifter person just did that, and like they donated all the money to some like nature conservancy. I'm just like, okay, cool, but like you still printed this shit on like brand new shirts, and they were like, oh, well, we're donating the money. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's good at least, but like you're still making shirts. It's like,
you reached out to them?
I said, well, they like posted this, and I was like, fuck, these motherfuckers are doing the same thing I was thinking about doing. They didn't steal my idea. They just that's just like what everyone's thinking right now is like recycle, reuse, which is good. But I was like, oh yeah, but like you're printing on like new shirts, right? And they like kind of were like upset, like we're donating all the money. I'm like, oh, okay, but like you're still like making waste. Kind of.
Naturally. Well, kind of in addition to what you were just saying about printing on existing pieces, well, I guess that other company, they printed on brand new shirts.
Yeah.
But I saw now you started doing stuff with Kevin Emerson. He tie-dyes clothes. So you gave him some clothes to tie-dye and kind of collabing like that.
Yeah.
What sparked that?
Huh. I don't know. I don't know whose idea that was. It's probably his idea. I don't know. I have like a lot of shirts that are just like, they get yellow, kind of, not like yellow, but like they're dingy looking. They're not like stained up and like gross, but like
they get more
they're
beige.
not white anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, if this guy throws some dye in them, like they're gonna look great, and then you could just like bring them back to life. Basically, tie dye is popping right now. And what he does isn't just like your run of the mill tie dye. It's like more of like dyeing than tie dyeing. He like strategically puts dye on certain parts of the clothes. He's an artist, like, so it's just like, I don't know. I just like, I'm like, here, you can use this shirt. And he just like, whatever he sees, he just does. And then we sell it and split the money. And it's cool. I don't know. It's just, it's more or less just exciting for me. It's like something new where it's like I get these clothes back. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to get rid of these. I want these. And then I throw them up for a lot of money and then people don't buy them. Actually, a lot of them have sold.
A lot of the Emerson pieces?
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of Japanese people are liking them. So in probably like 2 years, Americans will start liking them. 2 years? 3 years? Maybe next year. maybe it'll be as soon as next year. The Japanese people are always way ahead. Dyeing the clothes. I want to get into like making shirts on like vintage blanks. I have like amassed quite a few dead stock blank shirts, sweatpants, sweatshirts.
Any champion reverse weave?
Nah, not really in that bag. I have like blank ones, but I don't know. I have like other sweatshirts that are just like cheaper.
You told me last time I was at your house that you have like pretty much a whole collection of more or less every color of champion reverse weave hoodies.
I have a lot of hoodies, yeah.
And you found all that thrifting?
Some of them thrifting. A lot of them are off eBay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I search on there for like my clothes. eBay's like a great place to buy like clothes for yourself.
Mm-hmm. How do you differentiate between the old reverse weave versus the new stuff they started selling again at Urban?
Just, I mean, the stuff they sell in Urban Outfitters is made by kids. Child slaves.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, that's who makes that. That's how I differentiate. The stuff that I wear is made in the USA by people with jobs in the 80s.
So
90s.
the tags will say made in USA.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah. It's all, everything that you need to know about the clothes is in the tags.
Right.
And if there is no tag, then you better be fucking good at looking at the clothes and telling them how old it is by other means. But the tags tell you everything. Made in the USA is like big. And they stopped doing that in like the late 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Every time I see a LL Bean piece now, I'm just like, oh, fuck, where was it made?
Yeah, LL Beans, like, they lasted for a while, I feel like. And they made a lot of shit in the 80s and 90s in the USA. So LL Bean is like the American heritage brand. It's like incredible.
Yeah,
all the old stuff is like so nice, like so well made. Whereas the new shit is just made in fucking Singapore probably at best. Some of it's made in the USA still. I think all those tote bags are still made in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know.
Who do you think is keeping it real and doing it good or doing it well in the thrift world?
There's a lot of people.
I assume you probably have like a bit of a community of people that you fuck with.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah.
I'm not really a part of like I don't think I'm really a part of like the thrifter community because like there's all
That's why you're on the Garnish.
There's all these people that are in California that I like. Some of them, I can't remember what his name is. There's like 2 people in California that I like fuck with that are like in the circle, but like I'm not in the circle. Like I don't go to LA. I don't really want to go to LA. I don't like California really. It's just there's a lot of like 19-year-olds out there that are like, yeah, I fucking know so much about thrift and I've been doing this shit for the past 2 years. I've been doing this shit for so long. And it's like, I've been doing this shit like faithfully for like 5 years, but like I'm 32. So all the years I wasn't doing it, I was just living the shit. Like I was like living through the 90s. Like I remember like watching TV and like when you see this shirt, it's like, oh yeah, I watched this show. Oh, when you see this shirt, yeah, I like had the fucking tape.
Mm-hmm.
It's like these kids didn't have the tape. They didn't have a fucking CD. They just think that they just know the Green Day shirt is worth money. That's why they want it. I had the fucking tape. Like I brought that shit to 5th grade and listened to it. So it's like, oh, I haven't been thrifting for 10 years, but like I've just been living for 32.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just annoying to see like the people just like overhyping the clothes and like being so like competitive and loud and like I don't know. Then I just see it in California all the time.
What do you think? It's a bit of like exploitation?
I mean, it's just like people just trying to make money, basically.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's just weird.
No, I get it. It's like you can't knock the hustle, but people could also do it more.
People could be cool about it. People could be like, people could know about it. There's this one kid who like buys all these rap tees, and like, he's like, I think he's Mexican. He's some sort of Latinx. I think he's Mexican. He's from California. He has glasses. He's young, but he's like knows this shit. You know, he like collects all the rap tees and he's like very knowledgeable, and everyone fucks with him. And he seems cool, but there's like for every one of him, there's like 5 other kids that are just like hell yeah, we got to stand at the Rose Bowl and we got all this crazy shit that we found in the bins. And we know it's crazy because we've seen someone else find the shit or we saw it on eBay. It's like, fuck, man.
Well, yeah, it's like everything's become commoditized and nothing's sacred. Well, who do you think is doing it well?
Oh, there are, usually there's like one person I shout out right away other than Skate and Thrift, Yusef Moorish. Who's doing it well?
Well, what do you think of like all the, I guess the new, more like late 80s, early 90s style vintage pop-up stores popping up?
What do I think of them?
Yeah.
I don't know. If they're cheap, I like them.
Pro-Cell, that's what I was going to ask. Is Pro-Cell, is that sort of...
Pro-Cell is fucking great.
Yeah.
Pro-Cell is what everyone should strive to be like. Very few things that are very expensive. And it's like well curated. Everything is beautiful. You know he's got like tons of shit just like waiting to come out. But he just like has these things right now for you to look at. It's like a museum. He's really smart too. I remember I used to go in there and be like, oh shit, this shit's worth this much. Oh, he's selling this for this much. And then the next time I went in there, it was like, oh, all the price tags are gone. So you can't go in there and clock. You have to like ask. No one's gonna go in there and ask every single fucking price for everything. So he's like, yeah, he's definitely he gets a lot of attention. But he's good. He's cool. I like everything he sells, like what he puts out. I'm trying to think of like people who just sell on Instagram, because there's like all these people that I like really fuck with, but they're like behind the scenes more or less. They're not like putting all this shit on Instagram to sell. But there are people that do that I really like.
What about Casper?
Oh, Casper kind of just got into it, but he's like been into buying the polo, but he just kind of finally fell victim to like the fuck it, I'm gonna just go to the thrift store and buy shit and sell it. Like, because why not? I already go to the thrift store. I just am not buying the shit to sell, I'm just buying the shit to wear. But he's good. He's good shit. Let me go on my little someone can't figure out how to buy some shit. It's like, how do I purchase? It's like, have you gone to the fucking link in bio, Buckman? Let's see what my feed's looking like. Known Bad Boy. He doesn't really sell shit on Instagram, but he has a good feed. He's one of the Cali people that I actually fuck with. He's got a good sense of humor and a good eye. Let's see what else we got on my feed here. A lot of people have good feeds and they just like post like bangers. Not a lot of people are just like flooding the gram. Oh, 32 and below. That's my that's the homie. He's good shit. Varsity Los Angeles. It's kind of like the LA version of Pro-Cell, I guess, kind of in a way, except they have more stuff than Pro-Cell does. And yeah, they're probably the best store. My favorite store. Varsity, definitely. Like tons of shit. Skate shit, music shit, like just culturally relevant shit that like in their store it's expensive because it's like, yo, they know what this is, and other people would just give the shit away. But it's like, I don't know how to describe it.
Like it's well curated.
Just yeah.
They're smart about it.
Everything in there is cool. Everything in there is cool. It's not cool like hypey cool. It's cool as in like it's actually cool forever.
Like timeless pieces.
Yeah. Full court classics. Another store, really good store. Just getting all these fucking sponsored ads for vintage people now. I might have been the first person to do that.
Sponsored ad?
Yeah. Like someone of my like caliber, not like a professional, just like a dumb kid with fucking selling clothes, just like sponsored ad. I remember doing that, man. People were like, what the fuck? Now I just see like 6 of those a fucking day. Here.
You just did the Champion pop-up.
Yeah, I had some clothes in Champion.
Was it some of the like the classic Champion stuff that
it was everything that I had for sale. That's Champion.
Oh damn.
So I had a ton of shit down there. A lot of sweatshirts, a bunch of t-shirts, some football jerseys. Yeah, bunch of cotton. I kind of shouted out a ton of people though. Oh, fucking Deep Cover. It's like all these people that I like have stores
Mm.
and their feeds are really good. But like there's not too many people that just like have strictly internet presences and sell all the shit through Instagram. Michigan Thrift. He's like he just got a store. He's like been selling shit just like on wherever the fuck he sells the shit.
Do you think you would open up a store,
No,
brick and mortar? No.
No.
Just too expensive, or
No, I don't want a job. Why would I want a job?
respect? Well, wouldn't you say though that thrifting as is kind of already a job?
I want to do it all. Like everything I do, I want to do. I don't want to go to a fucking store, and I don't want to talk to people, and I don't want to fucking have to be there from this time to this time every day because I said I was. Like I'll just show up to the fucking office whenever and get my shit done, get the photos on my phone, and then leave.
Are you still a one-man band, or do you get help?
I don't really have help. I mean, yeah, no one really helps me. No.
Jesus.
I buy it all. I buy stuff off people. You know, that's kind of help in a way. Like people be like, "Oh, you want like a bunch of shit?" Yeah. But it's like pretty rare. That used to happen way more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I ship everything and I list everything myself. My girlfriend helps me a lot with sending emails for sales. She designs the emails. She's also designed my website. I did not, before the website I have now, first website was designed by Desiree, my friend Desiree. She like did everything for me. She's like, oh, I know how to do all of the shit. I'll buy the domain. I'll fucking do this. I'll link it all up. And then all you got to do is just put the shit on there. So she like set it up for me. It was super basic. The next website I got was the Shopify one. And I like paid a rollerblader. He's my friend. His name is Joe DePompe. But he's a rollerblader from the skate park. He's one of like 3 kids that were younger than me that rollerbladed that I was friends with. And he's like a computer programmer guy, HTML. So I seen him one day. He was like home from wherever the fuck he was living. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm just here. Like I'm rollerblading at the skate park. I'm like, cool. I do computers. I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's like, yeah, I do like work on websites and shit. I was like, oh shit, I should have you do my website. He's like, oh yeah, I would do it for like basically nothing. So he like designed my first website, made it so that like when you click the link in bio, the first thing you see is the last thing I posted on Instagram. It's like chronological feed. And then he kind of just like, he has like a real job and shit. So
that's the neighbors.
So yeah. So then my girlfriend's been like fucking with the website since. She's like made it look really nice and like got it really organized. I was not good at doing that. I'm just like good at like finding the stuff and like taking pictures of the shit, like describing it basically. I hate like doing the computer work. Everything I do everything from my phone. All the photos, all the talking, everything but shipping. Shipping is done from the computer. So I have a computer that literally the only thing it does is print labels. It's like my old computer. Don't do literally nothing with it other than just go to my website.com and just fill out the orders.
Do you think you helped fuel skateboarding wanted to revert back to baggy in 90? No. I think it was just inevitable.
Sean Powers did that.
Yeah, valid point. That is true.
150%.
Yeah.
Sean Powers in Caviar, second video part, skating to Shaheem under the Brooklyn Bridge. He's wearing light blue denim and a fucking sweater.
Yo, you're right.
He is 100% my inspiration for wanting to go back to the 90s.
You're right.
I had no idea what he was wearing, but I was like, I need light blue denim. But I couldn't go baggy like him because like that was scary as hell back then. Everyone was wearing super skinny jeans.
But he's shorter though too, so
he is shorter.
It kind of looks more natural.
I would look like a psychopath.
Juggalo.
But yeah, because of him, I went out and bought double RL light wash denim that were like 501-ish kind of, I guess. And I would wear those around the snowboarders, and they would be like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Acid wash jeans? Like, these aren't acid wash. These are just light blue.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like really washed. And they're just like, I don't get it. It's like they're salvaged. What does that mean? It means they were fucking $400 at one point. I got them off eBay for $50.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like really nice fucking jeans. And I remember being like, I want these colored jeans because of Sean Powers in Caviar, who I ended up sponsoring later on. And I have a bunch of his art.
Oh, shit, there you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty clutch right there. That's a nice trade-off.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I guess that was more of a macro thing, like in terms of inspiring skateboarding to go in that direction. But what about John? Because I feel like I've seen older footage of John, and he has like pretty regular gear or whatever.
So John used to skate for Mishka. And Mishka was just, they made what they made. He was young. He didn't think about the shit. He's just like, I'm wearing whatever they send me. I would kind of like, I never really actually like poked him and like made fun of him for his Mishka clothes. But sometimes like they'd send him like sweatpants. I'd be like, oh, those are cool. Or that one time they sent him like selvage denim. It's like shit that I would wear, like skinnier, but not too skinny. I'm like, oh, those are really cool. I would wear those. Like if you got those for me, I would wear those all the time. But then like the shirts and shit and like the sweatshirts were just like those big ugly logos. And then when that ended, he went straight into just like thrift store clothes. And at first it was like he just like wore it like exactly what I was wearing. And then he started going baggier and baggier and started like figuring it out and like thinking more about the clothes he was wearing. Like, and it wasn't like, he wasn't trying to like dress like me. He was like, oh, I'm going to wear this big ass shit. I was like, oh yeah, like, yeah, it looks cool. Fuck yeah. Bigger shoes. Yeah. Bigger pants. Like, fuck yeah. Bigger shirts. Like, yeah, it's sick. There was like a few things that I was like, oh yeah, the Jabot jeans, or like this brand is really good, or like this brand sucks. Like, there's no reason to wear that. Like, that's not good. I like kind of like guided him, but I never like, I remember like fucking, who's the guy, the filmer with the bad back that doesn't film skating anymore, who made the animal movie? He like made the skateboarders turn into animals.
Oh, the Colin Reed.
Yeah, I remember he was like talking shit. I think he was like, he would like leave comments like, oh, this dude's just like dressing John. Like, this dude, John just gets dressed up by that other dude. I'm pretty sure he would leave comments like that. And then I was just like,
weird.
Like, I'm not dressing this kid. Like, yeah, I am like kind of like, oh yeah, look at this.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was like alluding to. That's what I was asking. It wasn't
like, yo, you're wearing this today.
Right. No, I never thought that, but I thought you probably did guide him.
I mean, I've known him since he was 12.
Right.
It's like I've been like looking out for him the whole time. Like, not gonna like let him wear some stupid shit,
Of course.
Although I did advise him to get on gold wheels, and those wheels were fucking so bad. I had no clue. Who would have known they would have been so bad?
Did he always want to be on DC, like, and take the path that he took?
No. Pang just found him. Pang and Poe, like, they talked, and like Poe's like, this is the best dude we got. You should give him shoes. And Pang was just like, cool. And then Pang would talk to John, and Pang's like, cool. This dude's cool. I'll just keep giving him shoes. And that's just when they didn't make puffy shoes. Like, it was just like slim shit. So he's been on DC since like slim shit.
Mm.
And then I remember one time, he got these fucking BMX shoes one time. I filmed him do one trick in them. He did a pop shove 50-50. Clip never saw light of day. But I remember him skating these shoes, and I was like, yo, these shoes are so sick looking in footage. Like, what the fuck? What happened? And I think he just like accidentally ordered them. He was like, oh, I just wanted to see what they'd be like. And I was like, yo, those are sick. And this was like years before this was probably like 2 years before he like started buying old shoes. But like he just had these like random ass shitty BMX shoes that were mad puffy, and they looked so good. And I remember being like, damn, these are fucking, like, I was hyped. Like, I didn't tell him to get the fucking shoes. He just, like, figured it out on his own. And then I think, like, Instagram kind of was like, oh, yeah, skate shoe wars. People are buying old shoes and skating them. I'm trying to think where else he would have seen that. If he even seen that. He might have just started doing it. I think he had all the slim shoes, and he started jumping off stuff. And he's like, fuck, my fucking feet hurt. Or we would go skate the city all day and he'd be wearing the slim shits. And he'd be like, fuck, my fucking feet hurt. Like, this sucks. And then I think, like, he, like bought a pair or, like, got some, like, puffy shoes somehow. And he's like, yo, these are so fucking good. Like, he might have got, like, Mantecas or some shit. Like, because they never stopped making Mantecas. So I think he might have just, like, fucked around and got Mantecas one time and was like, oh, my God. These puffy shoes make my feet not hurt. Like, I can jump off shit. Like, I'm invincible in these shoes, basically. Like, I could just jump off shit and my feet don't get fucked up. So
that's probably good for you too, because you just wanted to film him jump off big shit.
I mean, I don't know. I never really like wanted him to jump off big shit. It's like funny when he does, because it's like no one would ever do that. It's like some shit from like our childhood. Fucking ragdoll jumping down shit. Fucking train wreck going down huge shit. But then, like, it went into, like, cellar door skating, which is, like, what I always wanted to, like, kind of fuck with, because it's fun to look for the spots.
Yeah.
Just, like, going and jumping off a giant thing.
Yeah, the same way that it's probably fun for you to go find clothes.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah,
it's all
I've
in
always
the
been,
hunt.
like, a treasure hunter guy. My dad has always been, like, a treasure hunter guy. My mom has been looking for shit at yard sales. My grandfather was, like, a record collector, antique dealer. But I'm trying to remember, like, the John with the shoes thing, because I don't really remember it too well. I was like, we were doing so much shit when that started happening. He was definitely buying shoes a lot though. Remember he bought some like Rob Dyrdek shoes that were like really sick, like kind of look like a running shoe. I think that's like his favorite shoe. It's like a Rob Dyrdek crazy patent leather shoe that he like bought off someone that bought it from Rob Dyrdek's parents' yard sale.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
It was like some samples of a shoe that had come out, right?
Samples.
Because I feel fucking Dyrdek was skating those. Maybe not the same colorway. I don't know the colorway, but he was skating those shoes in the DC video.
Oh, maybe yeah.
They were kind of like what the Kalis Light is these days. They're tapered.
He had a couple that looked like running shoes. There's multiple different like styles that were like 1, 2, 3, like Dyrdek 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. They're all really cool.
Oh, for sure. What do you see the future of Vintage Sponsor?
Fuck, I have no idea. I worry about that every single day. I don't know if it's gonna turn into like I'm making money some other way and I barely post clothes, or if it goes into like someone buys it or like invests in it or something and like more people come on. I used to think that would happen, but I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. I don't know if it's gonna turn into like a brand where I like make stuff. I have a hard time with making stuff because I want it to be made in the USA. I want it to be like good for the environment, you know? I don't want to like just make garbage. And I also don't want fucking child slaves to make it. So that makes it really expensive right away. So you won't see me making any Gildan t-shirts anytime soon, I don't think. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird like investing in making clothes. Because if they don't sell, you're fucked. It's like,
right.
I didn't spend $1 on this to sell it for 20. It's like, no, you spent like $2,000 on these hoodies that nobody wants.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Scary.
Yeah, it sucks. So I just haven't like taken that step yet. I just don't even. I have no confidence that people want to wear a Vintage Sponsor logo, I guess, or like Vintage Sponsor clothes. Really. I do have this graphic that I want to get printed. I actually take back the Gildan thing. Probably won't be Gildan. It'll probably be like an all style shirt. But
Do all styles.
Yeah, but it's a Henry what's the artist? Henry Jones. I asked Henry Jones to do like a piece for me to like do a shirt, and he like whipped it up in like 15 minutes and sent me back like the sickest thing.
Fuck
and
yeah.
I want to just put that. It's like a 4 square like comic, and I think it would go over fairly well.
So it seems like you're more like into the collabos and trying to figure out that
I'm
way.
not fucking, I'm not artistic in any way really, other than just like seeing stuff.
Yeah. Would you ever
and
work as a
filming
stylist?
I mean, yeah. I just don't. It's like styling, consulting, all that shit. I would love to be a consultant. Just once a week, whatever, however much you want me in the office. I come in, I tell you what's cool, I leave. That'd be the goal. But like, people need to like believe you, trust you. It's like they look at Vintage Sponsor, it's just some dipshit kid that's selling clothes. Like, why would they trust me? I don't know. That's what I feel like I am. Like when you come over to my house, you're like, oh shit, he's got tons of cool shit. But no one knows that. I'm just selling fucking NASCAR shirts for money because I want to pay my bills.
Now they will. This man has a fucking 3-bedroom apartment and 2 of the bedrooms are filled up with clothes. Is this still like that?
It's just 2 bedrooms.
But they're filled up with clothes.
They're filled up with stuff, yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff.
Well, I feel like even before Brett left, what he was saying, you could like rent your clothes out, even if you don't want to personally style.
I would love to do that, but
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. You have to have like know people. It's not about like what you know; it's about who you know. So it's like, yeah, we all like that, and Brett knows I could rent this shit out. I have tons of shit to rent out. I have cool clothes. Who do I know that does that shit? Who's gonna tell me how to do it? No one that knows how to do that is gonna tell me how to do it because I'm gonna take money from them. So you have to like figure out yourself, or like. Maybe like Brett will fucking get me on some job. Be like, oh, come and try this out. We're bringing clothes. We're doing this shoot. Okay, cool, perfect. Like it's gonna take like knowing him, working for this shoot to hire me, and then I'll be able to do it. And then once I get hired by him, 5 people on the shoot will be like, oh, that's that dude. He was cool. He had cool shit. And then if they're on a shoot, maybe they'll tell their friend to hire me.
Yeah, snowball. Well, I'm just surprised that there isn't people constantly hitting you up to rent your clothes, period.
Yeah, I don't even think people realize that I'd be interested in that. It doesn't say anything like online where it's like renting available. Blah, 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 blah. People DM me to fucking figure out how to buy the shit still.
Yeah, true.
People ask me my email.
Really?
It's in my fucking Instagram, right? There's a bar that says email.
Right.
And if you didn't know, what do you think my email would be?
Yeah, vintage sponsor at
gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. No, it's fucking vintage sponsor 69420 at gmail.com.
No, but
it's vintage sponsor 14 at yahoo.mail. The fucking thing. What do you think? Yeah, of course that's what it is. It's like you can't even I don't know. It's crazy.
But what if you made like another tab on your website saying renting available, like inquire for pricing, something like that, just to, like
I know.
To give people a door to open.
Yeah, I've put like studio appointments in the bio, like email me for studio appointments, and no one's done that.
Really?
Yeah. One girl did, and she seemed like she was like a stylist type of person, and she like canceled on me twice, which is I'm not mad. It's just like I was just at work. Come by or not, I don't give a shit. I'm still here working. But the only people that come over are like people that I invite that I know, and that's it, really. Like no randoms ever come over.
It's very surprising.
Yeah. SZA's like creative person. I'm like good friends with her. Good friends, like internet good friends. Her name is Sage, actually. Their name is Sage. Sage comes over and she takes shit for SZA, and she's always like, "Oh, what? Why aren't the stylists coming over here? Why am I the only one coming over here?" I was like, "I don't know. Tell them."
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, please have SZA shout me out. But it's like when they get so famous that it's like you can't just like shout people out for free. It's like
Right.
weird with Instagram shit.
Right.
So it's like I'm not like expecting like a shout out from SZA. I just love seeing her in the clothes. It's like holy shit, she's wearing the clothes. Screenshot.
Yeah, like at
And then
least
I
you can
post
repost it.
Yeah.
That's
But
fresh.
um,
What other celebrities have worn your clothes?
Reynolds.
Oh yeah, yeah. Andrew Reynolds.
That I've seen. Buddy is a celebrity now. Buddy's like an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Walter, person that got me into clothes, manages Buddy.
Oh no shit. Is that how the connection got made?
Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, what about this is kind of rewinding a bit, but when we were talking about Virgil hitting you up and buying clothes off you,
Mm-hmm.
didn't I swear I read somewhere or saw somewhere that you sold some shit to the creative people at Supreme?
Oh yeah, the brands buy shit all the time. Yeah, and I don't know if they're buying it to recreate it. I've never really seen it come full circle, where it's like, oh shit, that was what I sold them. But definitely like people in the office either buying it for themselves or for Supreme to recreate or possibly recreate. Well, there's been other brands. There's always shit going to like Midtown, like offices in Midtown. Either it's like people like buying it and they're getting it sent to their like safe work, so the shit doesn't get stolen, or it's like literally just like a corporation that's just like, oh, we're just buying this as a reference or something. I think most people just screenshot the shit. They don't even buy it. They don't even bother buying it. They're just like, oh, let's make this.
Mm-hmm.
They send it to China and they go, oh, could you make this? Yeah, we can. But they don't ever get it right because it's like not the right quality. It's not that old school quality.
What if there was a feature on Instagram where if you were a business, screenshots don't work?
Wow. That'd be dope.
I feel like that's possible.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing as when you get screenshot on
Screenshot detected.
Yeah.
I can like look at my shit to see like who sent it to who, like, and like, or maybe like how many people have sent it, how many times it's been shared. Let's see what the hell this thing says.
What do you see as the next trend in thrifting and all that, in clothes in general?
Made in USA.
But I feel like it's been kind of like that for a bit. Maybe not as much because it's kind of like you said, when it got oversaturated, people just got like, oh, whatever brand it is, I'll just take it.
Yeah.
Whereas you're more nuanced and you want, for example, if it's LLB and you don't just want the regular shit that just came out 5 years ago. You want it.
It's not about brand. It's about like when it was made, basically, where it was made, who, like.
Matter of fact, tell me, how did you learn about, once again, last time at your house, you showed me like old hoodies, the construction of hoodies, and like especially Champion reverse weaves. And you taught me that Champion was pretty much the first people to make a hoodie. And then you started showing me like all the details about certain t-shirts. You don't have to go into those details to expose it, but how did you learn all this?
I just slowly picked it up from like people just like dropping little jewels on Instagram, I think. A lot of the Champion stuff I learned from Tags and Threads on Instagram. He's like big time Champion collector. He knows like everything about Champion. And then I got introduced to him by Josh Matthews, whose name on Instagram is Black Zuckerberg. He's like showed me a lot of things and like taught me a lot of shit about just clothes in general and kind of just like looking at stuff. But a lot of like the construction and like quality, it's just like, it's like once you grab the thing, you're like, oh, this is a fucking no-brainer. This thing is heavy as shit. Like, this shit is from the 80s and it's still fine. Like, this Gildan hoodie, I washed it once, it shrank down, it's unwearable. It's garbage. It's thin as fuck. It's not even warm. Like, this thing from the 80s is like, it's just like, I don't know. It just kind of explains itself almost. Like, once you like handle them a bunch and you handle like the new shit and you handle the old shit again, you're like, oh. And then you hear someone say like expansion gusset. You're like, well, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's the thing on the side of the reverse weaves that like is stretchier than like the shit in the middle. This shit won't stretch, but this shit on the side is like more like elastic than it is cotton. And it's like, so when you move around, like the shit just expands. And that was like one of the like the things that like Champion did that like revolutionized the hoodie or sweatshirt or whatever. There's all like weird little things. Like, you know how some sweatshirts have like the little like triangle right here? That's designed to catch sweat. Like, that's what that triangle's for. It's so when you're sweating, it catches it right there.
How does it catch sweat?
I don't know. That's like how like fucking primitive the shit is. It's like, oh, we'll put a triangle there and it'll be a thicker little piece and it'll catch the sweat so it doesn't run down or whatever. I don't know.
Interesting.
But that's like what that's for. You think it's just like a little like decorative thing. It's not. It's for sweat.
I thought
There's
it was
a bunch
for
of random little shit like that on like clothes where it's just like.
Well, I thought it was for expansion. Like, I guess when you're putting your head through, or like say if it's like you're wearing a hoodie while playing a pickup football game.
Okay,
and
so
if it wants to stretch a little bit, it can.
So this is something that Tags and Threads told me. So you know how people always have the hoodies and they're ripped right here? That started because the first hoodies in like the 60s and 70s, the head hole was so narrow that if you didn't have a baby head, you couldn't get your head through. So all the hoodies from like the 60s and 70s, the few that are remaining, they're almost always cut because there's no way for you to get it on. If you did get it on, it'd be like choking you. And then don't even talk about the hood because the hood was unusable. The hood was so small in the original hoodies, completely unusable. They didn't fix it until the 80s. So like if you get like a hoodie from the 70s, they're like fucking like ET phone home, like super tight to your head. If you can even fit your head through the shit in the first place.
That would be me because I have a big ass head.
So like tons of sweatshirts were cut. And then because they were cutting them out of like, I need to be able to fit my head through this shit, people just started doing it as like, oh, that guy cut his shit, so I'm gonna do it too. And they started just, so now you see like all types of college kids cutting their hoodies because of it's the look. But it was started off as like, I have to do this to get my head through this fucking thing. And then Champions made like hoodies that have like a half zip, like, or like not even a half zip, like a fucking little zip. So it's just like, instead of like cutting it, you can like zip it and then like pull the hoodie over or pull the hoodie on and then like zip it back up. And then it's like tight, fits to you. Yeah, that's like a weird thing that I was like, you never figure that out. Like, why do people wear cut hoodies? Oh, I always just thought it was for like ventilation. And it's like, no, well, like they originally started cutting them because like they had to get their fucking head through the hole.
I just always used to associate it with the jocks at UMass.
Yeah, and it's like all the jocks and that shit.
It's like dudes walking in class in pajama pants and like cut neck hoodies, and I'm like, fuck this asshole.
Yeah, it's like some like lax bro shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of other things, like little things that I've learned, like just some people just know certain little things, and if you talk to them, they'll just like tell you. Like if you start like expressing like, oh, I'm interested and then I'm a nerd about this shit, I want to know, they'll just start rambling and start talking to you about it. Some people on Instagram will like drop little jewels like, oh, like you didn't know that like Patagonia did this because of this or whatever. Like Patagonia started off as like some dudes that were like rock climbing and they wanted shirts to last forever, and they like went to England and they're like, oh, these rugby shirts are built to last, they're thick as shit because they're made for rugby.
Right.
But then these motherfuckers just brought them to rock climbing, and we're just climbing around in them, and everyone's like, what the fuck, where'd you get those look like they're gonna last forever. And they're like, yeah.
Do you listen to How I Built This?
No. But does he talk in there? Does he explain that?
Yeah.
I've heard him explain that a few times in a few different things.
Oh, okay.
Interviews and stuff. But like that's like, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, you just like random little shit like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, the extent of my knowledge of all the vintage clothes is like a little bit of shit that you share with me. And then I love track pants. So I'm always looking for like Nike track pants. Mm-hmm. And it's like the gray tag. Or if it's the Nike with like the red swoosh under it, like that's the vintage fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Nike tags get crazy.
Yeah. What's your favorite shit to find? Well, you said LL Bean. Yeah. Well, keep for yourself.
Champion, Polo Country. Whenever someone hits me up, they're like, oh, you want to trade? Be like, yeah, Champion, Polo Country. That's what I want. And like no one ever has anything good.
What's Polo Country?
Polo Country, I don't actually know the dates, but it was definitely like in the 80s into the 90s. This is Polo Country. It's just like, fuck, I don't even know how to describe it. They made like really loud shit, but they also just made like really like mellow shit. A lot of like khaki, like shit you'd wear like raking the leaves. Shit you'd wear in the fall. That's what I think of. Polo country is like fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like workweary kind of built. It's like chore coats. I don't really know how you describe it. Clothes you just wear outside.
Yeah,
The
no,
country,
I get it.
You know, it's not like dress clothes,
Yeah.
but it's like nice clothes that you'd wear like to go pick a pumpkin or some shit. You know, classic American dream type shit. You know, take the dog for a walk in the morning. You know, yeah, Champion stuff is like, I love it. You can wear it still, no matter how old it is, if it fits you.
Do you have any reverse weave sweatpants?
Yeah.
Really?
I
For
mean,
sale?
Usually they sell. I don't think I have any for sale. They're kind of not fun to wear.
I don't know. My girl has well,
She
my
has a
girl.
new pair.
No, she has a pair of. I'm assuming Supreme.
Okay, made in Canada. Very thick.
Yeah.
Almost like reverse weave, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm assuming they probably took the same pattern.
Yeah, it's a similar
Yeah,
feel at least.
but I fuck with it. I kind of like it.
Yeah, but olds though, when you get like old ones, they're like super soft and washed out. They're not like stiff like that anymore.
Ooh, that sucks.
So they're reverse weave, but they're like super soft and like not stiff. I'm trying to think. I've had so many pairs, and I always am just like, I don't wear these. I have like one pair that I keep, 2 pairs maybe. The bottom always blows out, like the scrunchiness, like it looks like you're wearing like straight sweatpants. It's so weird.
Oh, that's not chill.
Yeah, and then a lot of them don't have pockets.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them don't have pockets.
Oh, I can't rock with that.
That shit is crazy. That's like literally like go to your locker, put this shit on, go play fucking racquetball, come back, and then change again. Like that's like all it's for. It's like working out. Like nothing else. You're not supposed to be like wearing these shits. Like,
Well, I'm glad you told me that now because I'm not gonna be looking for it anymore.
yeah, I mean they do make them. Like in the 90s, they started making them with the pockets, but you can easily get ones without pockets. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's more common than with pockets. And then it's like, what size do you want? Like medium would fit you like a glove. Large would be like baggy. XL would be like normal fitting baggy. And then like, I don't know. It's like so weird. Like I've literally owned and worn like every single size. Like small just fits like super tight.
Mm.
And then like obviously I would never go out of the house with those on. But I could wear them. They fit. Then medium is like, oh yeah, like it just looks like you're wearing like normal fitting sweatpants. And then large is like, oh, you got some baggy sweatpants on or like big sweatpants on. And then XL is just like, oh shit, Woo Welsh is in this motherfucker.
I was hoping you talk some more shit on the show, but
You have to get me going. Also, like I said, I'm a fucking like morning person. Nobody's like grinding my gears. I like just don't follow people that grind my gears.
Yeah.
If they really fuck with me, like try to fucking talk shit to me, I just block them.
Posy vibes.
Not even.
Well, no, but I'm sure it probably helps with like
Oh,
blocking
yeah.
out the bullshit.
Oh, it just helps with my fucking sanity.
Right.
This fucking algorithm. That's what I want to talk about. Who gives a shit about these kids buying the clothes? They can't find as much shit as I can find. It's this fucking algorithm. I got 38,000 followers. You know how many people see my shit? 5,000 people see my shit. That's
Really?
it. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on. It's just the algorithm.
That's bizarre.
The more shit you post, the more likes you'll get, but at the same time you're not getting 1,000 likes per pic, so it's like it just sucks.
Interesting.
Yeah. If 38,000 people or 30,000 people saw every single thing I posted, every single thing would sell.
Yeah.
But instead I'm just like working with like the same number I always had. It's like I only had 5,000 followers. It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. You got to pay to play. That's how Facebook works.
Yeah, I
You
guess so.
you got all these followers. You want to use them? You got to pay.
Are you talking about
Pay
sponsored
us,
ads?
Pay us. Yeah.
Oh, you think that's probably why people keep
Yeah.
on posting
I wish I
sponsored
could
ads?
just pay them. Like, yo, you want this many people to see like all your posts? Give us $1,000 a month. I would do that in a second.
Really?
If I would do that for 1 month, and if it did what I think it would do, I would just keep doing it. You're telling me I pay you $1,000 a month, and then I make $1,000 a day every day or whatever. I make fucking guaranteed like $800 a day.
Oh yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You think that's really what the numbers would be?
Yeah.
Damn.
You've seen my house. It's full of shit.
Yeah.
I went through all these t-shirts today. I was like, damn, these shits are so sick. Like, so much good shit doesn't sell because it's too expensive, but you need like the right person to see it and be like, oh, I understand this.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they're just, the majority of people like are willing to spend $30 on a NASCAR shirt, but they're not willing to spend like $70 on some like actually dope shit. Some shit that fucking Pro Cell would sell for $200. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm selling it for like $75, $80 or whatever. If I had his store, I would do the same thing as him. I'd be like, oh yeah, this shit's cool. Like, this shit is going to be expensive. Like, I don't even care if it doesn't sell. I mean, I do this pretty much the same thing, just on a different scale, where it's like, no one's going to buy this for, like, probably no one's going to buy this for $100, but like, that's what I want for it because I like it so much. Throw it up, see what happens. And then it just sits in there. And then when I'm digging through the clothes, I'm like, oh my God, there's so much good shit in here. But when people come over that are cool, I'm just like, oh yeah, I got all this cool shit in here still. All the garbage kind of got sold. Or if I wanted to rent the clothes out, it'll work.
I'm saying extra tab on the website.
Yeah, I don't think that would really do anything. They can't even figure out where to buy the fucking clothes, let alone click a tab that says, oh, you can rent the clothes.
So just
Then
rebrand it.
What clothes can I rent?
Rebrand it then.
Then they want to see a photo of a catalog of all the shit they could rent. It's like,
Well, I'm saying rebrand it then. Start like a different account.
I have a different account.
Well, I know, like you showed me some shit before. Yeah, I know you didn't want to expose it, but I'm saying like for, like vintage sponsor for hire, let's say. You know what I mean? Like to rent it out and be as like a stylist or provider of the clothes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't steal that shit, motherfucker.
I'm saying
once I got it going, then I would be like, oh, I'll start this. I'll post fucking my like clout on there, like, oh, I fucking oh, I did this.
I mean, I'm just thinking like, say you post a bunch of clothes throughout the day, story or regular feed. Every other 5 posts, you'll be like, by the way, nowadays we are renting out clothes. So if you have a shoot or whatever, like film, music, whatever it is, a night out.
A night out. Wow. I would need to get some sort of like contract drawn up and have people like sign it and notarize it and shit, so that if they like fucked my shit up, then I would just
so just get the square. Yeah. Actually, no, fuck it, just do it like full on e-commerce, and then you'll have the person's credit card information, and you'd have a deposit put down already.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I see how you do it.
Yeah. So it's like if like a sick shirt is whatever, like it's worth $100 to you. It's like $100 or rent it for like 20 with $100 deposit, and then they get the $100 back when they return it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's kind of excessive, but it's possible.
I mean, that's how, what is it, Rent the Runway started?
I don't know anything about that.
Forget exactly.
What I do know is that I sold a t-shirt for $1,000.
I know.
$1,000 for one t-shirt.
Snoop Dogg shirt, right?
Snoop Dogg.
That shit was sick.
I still can't believe that happened.
Was that the most expensive item you've sold?
No. No, I'm just kidding. That was the most expensive item.
I was going to say.
I've actually sold a camera that I found at a thrift store for $1,200. But it was just like, it's a fucking camera.
What did you find?
Brand new. It was in my local thrift store by my parents' house. It was $300. In my head, I knew that it was worth $600, and I wanted it. I was looking for this camera to buy.
What camera was it?
It was a Polaroid 195. It's a Polaroid camera where the front pops off and it folds out, or accordion style, and you take a photo and you pull the film out and then you let it sit and then you peel it apart and then you have like a print. They're like really sick. So the 195 is like the best one. You can like manually change all the shit. Like there's no like light meter in it. It's like it's like I think it's all in the front. It's like aperture and shutter, and then like you like move the shit around to focus. But I saw it and I was like, oh my God, this is the fucking camera. This is the camera. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, they want $300 for it. And I was looking at it more and I was like, oh my God, it's brand fucking new. Like, this is worth it. I didn't have a debit card. I didn't have a credit card. I had to go to the bank and take out $300 and came back. And I bought it and I used it for like 3 months. And I realized the thing just sucked to use. Like, it was just too much of a hassle. And I was like, fuck this thing. So then I like got desperate for money in the wintertime. And I was like, I'm just going to put this on eBay. Threw it up for like $500 or some shit. And I was like, fuck, I want to get 600 for this thing. So like within like 2 minutes left, I was like, Mom, you got to bid 600 on this thing and then someone will outbid you. It was at 5 or some shit. So she bid 6. And then I get a notification, your item sold for $1,200. So someone just like 2 people bid like super high and it just went sky high, like instantly.
Holy shit.
And then the person paid me and then I was like, oh my God, they actually paid for this shit. And then I sent it. So that was the most expensive thing I ever sold. But that's just like, that's not even crazy. Because it's a fucking camera, you know? They're rare. You never see them brand new. Like, that's how much it's going to be.
Yeah.
A fucking shirt, a t-shirt.
Yeah, for $1,000.
Fuck.
That's sick though.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Rent.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered damn near everything, right? Is there anything I left out?
I mean, honestly, I could go on for days. I'm a little low energy. But
Yeah.
maybe I'll get canceled for this shit.